months, a jury just convicting Richard Allen on all counts for the murders of two girls, 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby German, who went missing on a hike in 2017.
The prosecution's case largely boiled down to three pieces of evidence: the dozens of confessions Richard Allen made while he was in prison, the famous video of the bridge guy that Libby German recorded on her phone, and then an unfired bullet that was found on the ground between the girls' bodies, which police analysis found was a match to a gun owned by Richard Allen.
Fox's Garrett Tenney. The defense argued there's no DNA evidence linking Allen to the crime and that the real killer is still out there. President Biden says this is the moment to come together as a nation on his last Veterans Day as Commander-in-Chief, emphasizing on sacred obligation.
Prepare those we send into harm's way and to care for them and their families when they return home and when they don't.
He and Vice President Harris laying a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier before his annual tribute to veterans at Arlington National Cemetery. The main airport in Haiti shutting down temporarily as the U.S. Embassy issues a travel warning reporting gang violence in the capital. A Spirit Airlines flight hit by suspected gunfire while approaching Port-au-Prince, diverted to the Dominican Republic. It landed safely. This as Haiti's prime minister is replaced after less than 6 months on the job.
Prime Minister Gary Conille has already been fired by the country's ruling council. He was only sworn in on June 3rd. Conille has called his ousting illegal. He's been replaced by businessman and former Haitian Senate candidate Alice Didier Fil-Aimé. Haiti hasn't had a president since the last one was murdered in 2021.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They say he's guilty. 61 degrees, sunny in downtown Indianapolis. Radar is completely clear of any trouble. Tonight's low drops to 40. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Delphi murder suspect Richard Allen has been found guilty on all four charges in the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German, who were killed near the Monon High Bridge February 13th of 2017. The jury reached a verdict today on the 21st day of the trial after about 20 hours of deliberation. Allen's attorneys argued the state lacked evidence that Allen could have actually been the killer, citing a lack of DNA found at the crime scene. The prosecution had argued that Allen used fear and power to control the girls before killing them. Allen's going to be sentenced December 20th, 9 in the morning. A reverend in Indianapolis believes the state's Democrat Party is in need of some new leadership. Ryan Hedrick reports.
More focus on faith and less on politics would benefit the state's Democratic Party, says Reverend David Green Sr., president of Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis. He says the party's president, Mike Schmull, is no longer an effective leader.
You would like to see the Democratic chairman at least saying, hey, people, you're going to have to make sure you are intentional about, rather than assuming that these Democrats are going to vote for you in the urban centers.
Schmull's term ends next year. The Democrats need to consider a faith-based leadership with its next president, says Green. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you've seen a social media post about an officer, Jonathan Diller is his name, with NYPD missing in central Indiana, it's not true. That's the word from IMPD, who says Officer Diller was actually killed during a traffic stop in Queens last March. One of the fake posts seen on Facebook says Diller went missing in Greenwood. Again, not true. Plenty of Indiana business owners are pleased with Mike Braun being elected the state's next governor, so says Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business.
Focus on good-paying jobs, which means a focus on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math jobs, and maybe having more state money going into workforce training.
Dick tells WIBC's Tony Katz he's interested to see how Braun tries to bring some economic development to the Hoosier State. And the Colts lost their third straight game of the season Sunday.
Well, today, it was just turnovers mostly. There was times where we could kind of get going, and then we turned the ball over.
Quarterback Joe Flacco, who accounted for all four of the team's turnovers in a loss to the Buffalo Bills. Head coach Shane Steichen's already said Flacco will remain the starter at quarterback next weekend. Traffic and weather in 60 seconds. It's 3:04.
Indy, tired of using the fall to paint your house year after year? Then do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard, and after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
And right now, Indy, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
I think it increases the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
And with traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Harrison? Looking at the south side, it's eastbound 465 at Harding. We have a breakdown blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic to I-69. In Greenwood, crash County Line Road is State Road 135. Traffic sponsored by General Motors. General Motors Marion is hosting a career fair on November 14th and November 16th, hiring skilled trades journey person roles. Visit facebook.com/General Motors Careers to learn more. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
And your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies for the day today. It is going to be a beautiful afternoon with highs near 61. Winds may gust at times near 15 and 20 miles per hour. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weird?
Richard Allen guilty on all counts. My name is Nigel. That is Jason Hammer right over there with a very special in-studio guest.
Donnie Burgess from the WIBC newsroom joins us in studio. So, Donnie, walk me through everything that took place. Felt like it was a couple of hours ago that we got the notification families were being entered into the courtroom, and then the scuttlebutt that a verdict had been reached, and then we got the verdict. It seems like this happened pretty quick today, considering it was looking like it was going to take a long time based on what we saw last week.
Well, the family showing up was always going to be the giveaway that this thing was close to the finish line. On Saturday, when I was outside of the Carroll County Courthouse, Richard Allen was brought in briefly along with his attorneys. We believe the jury wanted to see some evidence. The word was they wanted to see his interrogation videos and the down the hill video again, and I believe also maybe some of his in prison cell videos again. So anyways, today we started to hear, okay, police are now taking up positions in terms of deputies stationed on all the grass around the courthouse, drones up, and I can tell you, being there, it is a full-on operation. Dozens of police departments in Delphi, even at this minute, including state police. Police take up positions. Here comes the defense, and then the dead giveaway, like I said, is the family showing up because they have to have time to get everyone gathered there. Richard Allen shows up, and next thing you know, we hear Richard Allen is now guilty on all 4 counts of felony murder.
And for the sentencing of Richard Allen, we're looking at December 20th. Is that correct?
December 20th at 9 o'clock in the morning is the sentencing date that the judge and defense and prosecution all came to an agreement on earlier today.
Now, we'll get into appeals here in just a moment, because I think that's where Nige is going to go here. But just keeping it on what we know right now, is death penalty on the table?
I don't think I've heard those words said throughout this entire case, but I believe it could be a possibility. And again, this is going to branch out a little bit here, but as we know, President-elect Trump, during his administration, the death penalty and death sentences, those things picked back up again. And then they took a pause.
And recently here in Indiana, we've seen that some folks on Indiana's death row have been getting, their sentencing requests from the Supreme Court. There are 2 death row Indiana inmates that I know the Supreme Court are working on getting dates lined up, so they are coming back.
Yeah, so it took a pause during the Biden administration, and now Trump coming back into office. I would assume that's possible. It could be on the table. Those are things that are all going to have to play out as we get closer to next month.
Well, I don't know about you, Hammer, but I'm surprised. the lack of DNA evidence is one thing. The fact that there was nobody that conclusively could point to Richard Allen as Bridge Guy was something else. And we were having legal analysis every day from criminal defense attorney Guy Relford, who will be on with us again. And I just, those two things alone, the lack of DNA evidence and just the confusing, and I don't believe the composite sketches were brought up in trial, were they?
No,
the two different ones.
They actually never made an appearance. Now that you bring it up,
okay. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe we were in the jury room. We were in those boxes. We were in those discussions. Maybe they heard something different. Maybe they saw the demeanor. I mean, maybe the confessions of Richard Allen alone was enough to convict.
Now, Donnie, you were in the courtroom for a number of the days during testimony. Walk me through what you noticed about this jury.
The jury was so intensely focused on nearly every minute of testimony and case presentation from the state and the defense.
So they were paying attention. They were writing notes, asking really smart, important questions.
And as we've talked about before, you can tell by their questions, the more you dig into those, someone on that jury knows their firearms. Someone on that jury knows their DNA. Someone on that jury knows their, psychology and what happens to individuals under certain mental health stressor conditions. So this was a sharp jury, and for now we won't know what was going through their mind, and we won't hear from law enforcement for about another month. State Police Sergeant Ron Galvez told media earlier today, and Doug Carter as well, superintendent, clarified that the gag order is still in effect until that sentencing date of December 20th.
Remind me again the major tenets, the staples of the defense that weren't let into the trial.
Yeah, so the defense always wanted to bring in Odinism. So to catch people up, Odinism is this apparent religious cult that at one point dealt with human sacrifices. And so the defense wanted to say that third-party suspects investigated by police since 2017 participated in Odinism and have ties to the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. But Judge Fran Gall repeatedly told the defense, you cannot prove a nexus or clear link between those men and this murder, so therefore you will not be allowed to bring that up. But the defense has at least put it on court record for what may be to come after December 20th.
And again, for those who may be listening for the first time today, yes, Richard Allen, guilty on all counts. But the reason that we've had Donnie and Guy in studio with us every single day is because cameras were not allowed in this courtroom, even though in the past, Judge Fran Gall seemed like somebody who was completely in favor of having cameras in the courtroom. We were relying on reporters like you, Donnie, and your colleagues in the media sharing notes and giving us updates. And it is a little bewildering because it seems like, now I'm not an attorney, let me make that perfectly clear, but it seems like reasonable doubt is all over this thing.
Well, I think what we may be able to dig into a little bit more here in the future is whenever the jury instructions were given, Judge Fran Gall would emphasize, the state has the burden to prove each part of the felony murder charges. And when you break down those felony murder definitions, it was knowingly and willfully, committing the act of murder. And the other two charges, if people go, why are there four? There was only two victims. The other two, the state were able to get passed through are murder while attempting to, perform a kidnapping. And so the state had to also prove those parts of it as well. And apparently they proved it to the jury.
All right, so Guy Relford will join us here a little bit later on. Donnie, you'll join us a little bit later on. Chase down some more information, and we will talk again soon.
I will be back.
All right, that is Donnie Burgess, who's been doing awesome work. Nobody has been covering this thing better than this young man from the WIBC newsroom. And we're going to get Donnie and Guy's perspective coming up here in just a little bit. Nige, it's also Veterans Day today.
Yes.
And we have been tasked with helping some homeless Hoosier veterans.
Operation Rudolph. We're hooking up with Veterans Support Network here locally in Indy. And the money that we raise, it's basically really easy. We're going to do a flash fundraiser today on Veterans Day. Our goal, $5,000 from the WIBC listeners. That $5,000 will go to help 50 homeless Indianapolis vets.
And that gets them ready for the winter. It provides some meals, clothing. It gets them shelter, sends them in the right direction. And all the money stays here in Indy.
Yes.
Let's make that perfectly clear. We are helping Hoosier veterans.
There are plenty of different links that you can go to right now to donate. It's very easy. I'm assuming we should just give our X post.
Facebook and Twitter. I've got the link pinned to the top, veteranssupportnetwork.org.
Yeah, veteranssupportnetwork.org. There's a donate today button right there. And you're not going to believe this. You and I are getting updates on like how much people are donating. We've already got somebody that donated $1,000.
Let's go.
Are you kidding me?
This is the WIBC listeners, baby.
I want to blow $5,000. I want to blow that goal out of the water here in the next few hours.
Absolutely. These are Hoosiers who have defended our nation, and they've hit hard times, and it seems like nobody's trying to help these people right now. You look at what the national government is doing. You cross our border illegally, you break some of our laws, there are states that are going to put you up into a nice hotel, give you $1,000 gift card, do all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, here in our own backyard, you've got brave men and women who have served their country, and they need help. So you know what? We are going to help them today. And when I say we, the Hammer and Nigel Show family, that's all of us here on the show, but it's all of you listening. So if you have social media, go to our Facebook and Twitter. We've got the link pinned at the top. And if you're not on social media, you can just go to veteranssupportnetwork.org. That's veterans with an S, veteranssupportnetwork.org.
By the way, it doesn't have to be $1,000. I was just blown away. That was one of the first things that I saw come through. We barely even started talking about this, and somebody already donated $1,000. So
Yes.
5, 10, 25, any little bit helps at veteranssupportnetwork.org.
Matt Bear, what's going on?
South side stall, eastbound 465 at Harding, blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to I-69. Crash Greenwood County Line Road at State Road 135, and a crash east side Franklin Road at 42nd. On the west side, southbound 465, slow from Washington to Sam Jones because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Wendy's Any Size Soft Drinks for $1. Wendy's has $1 soft drinks all time, anytime, any size. Coke, Sprite, strawberry Fanta, whatever you want. Any size soft drink for $1, gotta be Wendy's. Limited time only. Participating Wendy's terms apply. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Sunshine 62 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Again, jump on the YouTube chat. It's going crazy right now with this Delphi decision. Look for WIBC on YouTube, and they got a live stream of our show. Please, if you can, make a donation to help our Hoosier veterans that have fallen on hard times. Veteranssupportnetwork.org. Here's a little tribute from the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I'm free. I will fight for the right to live in freedom. And I thank you.
We use words like honor, code, loyalty.
Saluting the veterans of the United States Armed Services.
Let's go, baby. Let's do this thing. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The Flying Toaster's 20th anniversary celebration Saturday, November 16th at the Paramount Theater in Anderson with special guest 45 RPM. Tickets available at theflyingtoasters.com.
Lovebirds, you're in for a treat. With your holiday proposal just around the corner, Shane Company is here to help you create your dream engagement ring. This is your moment. Let's make it magical. Through 4 generations as a family business, we've helped tons of couples find a beautiful engagement ring for a price that works with their budget. We've always sourced diamonds directly, cut out the middleman, and passed the savings on to you. At Shane Company, we have the widest selection of ring settings and center stones, in stock and ready to compare side by side. It's so easy. Choose a look that brings your vision to life. From classic styles to modern designs, we have them all. Then pick out a natural or lab-grown diamond, a sapphire in your favorite color, or a vibrant gemstone like ruby or amethyst. With our everyday competitive prices and free lifetime warranty, your forever after is safe with us. Visit shaneco.com and come see us in store. We've got your dream ring and fine jewelry gifts for everyone on your list. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Movember, it's not just for beards and mustaches. It's about men's health awareness. And it's kind of taken a back seat for too long. So we're going to team up with Franciscan Health and give you a one-stop shop for all things men's health. When you join us at the Gugman House Brewing Company for beer, food, sports, and a bunch of other stuff, Hammer and I will be there. The fans, Jake Query, JMV, Kevin Bowen will be there. And you'll be able to get free health screenings all in one stop from Franciscan Health. It's Saturday, November 23rd.
And here's just some of the things you can get checked out when you stop by and hang out with us. Blood pressure, glucose, cholesterol, strength balance assessment. You can get screened for some cancers, skin, oral, prostate. You can ask a nurse, ask an expert, ask a doctor. Seriously, we hope to see you Saturday, November 23rd at the Gugman House Brewing Company. Beer, food, sports, health, raffles, and prizes. Nigel and I will be there at noon. We hope to see you there.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Bill Klontz Heating and Cooling. HVAC manager Chris Edwards says getting a tune-up is key to preventing breakdowns.
Time it's going to break down is going to be on the coldest day, so that preventative maintenance before winter, before it gets extremely cold. You don't want to have to be in a emergency situation with no heat. So, yeah, the preventative maintenance on your furnace is key.
Just go to BillKlontz.com, CLONTZ. Bill Klontz Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
What does the joy of Christmas mean to you? A gift? Time with family? Decorations and traditions? At Shepherd Community, the joy of Christmas is learning to read, feeling safe and loved, finding a stable job, and having a community that cares. Shepherd gives its neighbors gifts of joy and hope for a brighter future. You can give the joy of Christmas to neighbors living in poverty, not just at the holidays, but all year long. Visit caringatchristmas.org/give. That's caringatchristmas.org/give.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today?
Today.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Have you compared your options during Medicare open enrollment? This year, it's important to compare and make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer in Indianapolis.
Today is Veterans Day, a day to remember and honor those that have served this country.
Veterans Day is a real big deal.
For Veterans Day, many Americans are focused on remembering the troops.
To honor all of our veterans, we are establishing a memorial park on the Detroit River.
My dad was in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam.
We dedicate this mural of all of the nurses that served in Vietnam.
It's just important with all the sacrifices that they and their families have made over the years to come out and show how much their service to our nation has been appreciated.
Celebrating our vets is the right thing to do.
We are all about helping our veterans and serving our country.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Man, I love our audience. I love the WIBC listeners, the Hammer and Nigel fans. The donors are pouring in. The donations are just streaming in. Hammer and I partnering up with the Veteran Support Network. We're doing something called Operation Rudolph. It's really simple. Just a flash fundraising drive here for the next couple of hours on November 11th, on Veterans Day, to provide money and needs for homeless Indy veterans. Hammer.
Breaks your heart to even say those words, right?
I know.
Should never be that way. James, $1,000. James, you're a rock star. Thank you. Scott, $1,000. Scott, God bless you. And again, like Nigel said,
it doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to be $1,000. We've got $50 from Michael in Brownsburg, $100 from Christopher, $20 from Ted,
$250 from Pat in Indiana.
Lynn, $100. Guy Relford has chipped in a little bit. Deborah, $25. You guys are awesome. Please keep it going. We're not going to be able to read everybody's name that donates, but just know it's staying here in Indy, and you're helping Hoosier heroes that have not gotten a lot of help from anybody else.
VeteransSupportNetwork.org. We have a link at Hammer on Nigel on all our social medias. It's really easy to donate. And
Shanavas family, thank you. God bless you.
Wow. So, yeah, again, this money staying in Indiana, helping homeless Indy veterans. I want to blow the $5,000 goal out of the window, and I think we are well on our way.
Yeah, let's just see how much we can raise. And I get it. If you can't afford to donate, it's okay. Nobody's going to shame you. We're at that time of the year where everybody's going to be asking for some donations at some point, right? We're about a month or two away from raising money for the Salvation Army, and we're going to raise as much money for them as we possibly can too. So if you feel blessed, if you got a little extra income and you can help some people that help fight for this country here in Indiana, we sure would appreciate your donation here today. Did you watch that opening montage of Saturday Night Live, Nige?
The cold open? Yeah, it was actually kind of funny.
It was. Because they suckered you into it, right? They make it look like all these cast members are about to give you a lecture because Donald Trump won, but they kind of threw a little misdirection in there, making it sound like they're very happy that Donald Trump won, and please don't come after us.
Please don't stop watching us.
But then Dana Carvey comes in, longtime, comedian, former cast member on Saturday Night Live years ago. He's doing his Elon Musk impression. So take a listen to this. He's got like the dark MAGA hat on, the jacket.
And he was kind of jumping around like he did on stage with Donald Trump at one of his rallies a couple of weeks ago.
Correct. This is Dana Carvey on SNL.
Check it out, Dark MAGA. Yeah, but seriously, I run the country now. And America's going to be like one of my rockets, they're super cool and super fun. But there's a slight chance it could blow up and everybody dies. I'm Dark MAGA. See you in the White House. USA, USA.
And he's jumping up around, doing the jumping jacks.
No, for sure if that actually sounded like him, but he certainly looked like him, as making the same kind of facial gestures as Elon Musk. But Elon Musk kind of got dramatic about it. He wrote a reply to the clip on X, quote, Dana Carvey just sounds like Dana Carvey. They are so mad that Donald Trump won. SNL has been dying slowly for years as they become increasingly out of touch with reality.
No lies detected there so far.
True, but I'm like, Elon, come on, calm down.
There's going to be way more harsh criticisms of you than Dana Carvey jumping on stage.
Yeah. It didn't, again, the Dana Carvey, the actual voice, the impression, the vocal impression of Elon Musk wasn't there. I don't think he nailed it, but it did look like him jumping around.
But if you're going to put yourself in this political landscape, right? If you're going to be part of Donald Trump's cabinet in some capacity, whether it's trying to find wasteful spending or whatever, dude, get ready. Because the WAPO, the New York Times, Politico, they're all going to be coming after you. And Saturday Night Live, they're just an extended arm of all of them.
Holidays will be here before we know it. Maybe you've already started shopping for someone on your list, AAA Hoosier Motor Club inviting you to join them, help make sure some local kids in need get gifts through the Toys for Tots program. AAA giving you the chance to send a holiday message of hope to Central Indy's less fortunate kids.
And as a thank you for donating to Toys for Tots, current AAA members will receive 25% off any merchandise in the travel store or adding someone to your AAA membership featuring their fabulous 24/7, 365 days a year roadside assistance for just $25. And non-members who donate will have the opportunity for early access to a special holiday offer, a classic AAA membership for just $50. Help local children in need this holiday season and secure your peace of mind with a AAA membership. Donate to Toys for Tots at AAA. Visit AAA.com or find the AAA store near you.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good?
Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Learn how to get Comcast Business Internet and Security Edge plus Wi-Fi backup for $59 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add Comcast Business Unlimited Mobile. And ask how to get up to a $600 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 11/17/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 300 megabit per second internet, Security Edge, and Wi-Fi backup. Eco bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The verdict is in. Sunny, 61 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. All clear with the radar. Tonight's low down to about 40 degrees. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:32. Richard Allen's been found guilty in the Delphi murders trial. Donnie Burgess reports.
Allen was found guilty on all 4 counts of felony murder. The jury spent around 20 hours in total debating and discussing the 2017 killings of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. A sentencing date has been set for December 20th at 9 a.m. Allen's attorneys turned to him and said, "This isn't over." Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're not going to hear a peep from anyone involved in the case.
Obviously, everybody has already got the news of the verdict. With that being said, Judge Gull has not lifted the gag order.
Ron Galvez with Indiana State Police confirming that the gag order is going to stay in place until Allen's sentencing in just over a month. 2 organizations in Indianapolis want new leadership for Indiana's Democratic Party. Reverend David Green Sr. with the Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis says the party's been focused on the wrong things.
There's clearly a focus on candidates who run, especially for statewide offices, focusing really on the rural communities and not so much the urban centers where a lot of votes are going to be available for Democrats.
Green says Democratic President Mike Schmoll has been ineffective over the past 4 years, failing to back a candidate who can compete with Republicans. President Joe Biden is calling for unity on this Veterans Day.
Just as they routinely put aside differences to work together, this is the moment. This is the moment to come together as a nation, to keep faith in each other.
This is Biden's last speech at the Arlington National Cemetery, with Donald Trump returning to the White House next year. Mike Braun has talked about improving the state's economy when he eventually becomes Indiana's next governor.
Something interesting to watch is economic development and how the state views economic development. Mike Braun has talked a lot about really focusing on rural communities around the state.
Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business tells WIBC's Tony Katz that the business community in Indiana is already responding positively to Braun's proposals about what to do with the state's money. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:34.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and I asked my wife this morning why women don't want to get their carpets cleaned. She said they absolutely do want to get their carpets cleaned, but they just don't want the hassle. I get it. Nobody wants to have to move furniture, worry about people that they don't know coming into the house, worrying about the chemicals they're using, and then waiting around for things to dry. I get it. But that's not Zero Res. And with their Gotta Love It guarantee, they're going to make sure it's a great experience that you'll never, ever regret. There is nobody better at cleaning than Zero Res. Right now, get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at just $129 and $75 off air duct cleaning too. That's a $40 savings on the carpet cleaning. The Zero Res service is easy to line up, and you can go online at zeroresindy.com to do the scheduling at your convenience. Just call them and mention WIBC. It's Zero Res. Call 317-388-5141 or book things online at zeroresindy.com. That's zeroresindy.com.
The traffic at 335. How are the roads, Matt Bear?
Better on the south side, Harrison, eastbound 465 at Harding. That stall has cleared. The traffic is cleared out as well. Looking at the west side, southbound 465, that is slow from Washington Street down to Sam Jones because of construction. Inbound 65 now stop and go 29th to Meridian Penn, and eastbound 70 slow from the west side to downtown Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. It's a crash on the east side, Franklin Road south of 42nd Street. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better hot tubs. 24-hour water filtration, purification, and aeration means better water quality. Natural minerals and Epsom salts means better relaxation. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies for the day today. It is going to be a beautiful afternoon with highs near 61. Winds may gust at times near 15 and 20 miles per hour. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gunday with the gun guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Relford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here, also joining us live in studio. The gun guy, Guy Relford, host of the Gun Guy Show, licensed firearms expert and instructor, also Second Amendment attorney, criminal defense lawyer. Guy, how are you?
Man, I'm great, and thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gunday. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located right in the store. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
Hammer, do you want to mention any more names of donors here for Operation Rudolph? Hammer and I are working with Veterans Support Network today, doing like a flash fundraiser.
Oh, that's awesome. I hadn't heard about that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so this is for indie homeless vets.
Yes. I'm actually kidding because I've donated to it already.
I saw that.
I heard you on the radio, and I jumped in there, and I'm going to chip in.
Thank you. And again, every bit of this money stays in Indiana, helps homelessness, and helps combat veteran suicide, too. We've got Jeff with a $50 donation. Thank you. Jerry, $25 donation. Thank you. Ryan, thank you so much for your $25 donation. Another $25 from Jeff. $50 from Diane and Fishers. We've got $100 from Don. Thank you so much, Don. And again, so many people are making donations right now. Dana, thank you so much for your $100. We'll keep you updated throughout the show. We were asked to raise $5,000. And honestly, Nigel, it feels like we're almost already there. So
blow that out of the water.
Maybe we can double that. Maybe we can get to 10. Hopefully we can get to 10. We'll see. But again, this is an awesome cause on Veterans Day. And it feels like we're the ones that are going to help these people, right? So let's make that happen. Donate right now. You can go to the top of the Hammer and Nigel Show social media, Facebook or Twitter. We've got the link pinned. Or you could just go online, veteranssupportnetwork.org. That's veterans with an S, veteranssupportnetwork.org. Click that Donate Now button and help some fellow Hoosiers. All right, Guy Relford, right out of the gate, your thoughts on Richard Allen, guilty on all counts.
Well, I'm personally surprised based on the reports I heard coming out of the courtroom. I thought there was reasonable doubt. I thought the most likely verdict was probably that there would be no verdict. There'd be a hung jury. They'd have to decide whether they're going to try him again. And then I thought not guilty was probably the most likely after that. So I have to say I'm surprised. But I will also say, and I've been saying this for the 3+ decades I've been a lawyer, is there's no substitute for being a juror in that jury box. There's no substitute for sitting there and hearing the evidence every single day as it comes in, watching the demeanor of the witnesses, listening to the arguments of counsel, listening to the rulings of the judge, but most importantly, evaluating the credibility of the evidence as it comes in, including the credibility of witnesses. And that's what you can't get third hand. You can't get unless you're a member of that jury. And I generally have a lot of faith in the jury system. I certainly, in my years, have seen juries, I think, that probably got it wrong. But for the most part, the vast majority of the time, I have a lot of faith in the jury system. That's also, though, limited to some degree by the evidence the jury is allowed to consider. And that's where it comes back to pretrial rulings and what evidence did or did not come in. And that's going to be the subject of a lot of appellate work now that's going to go on by Richard Allen's team. I hope he has a talented team of appellate lawyers signed up, and only because I hope for a fair outcome. But again, as we've said all along, all of us have said, if this guy's really guilty, then hey, I hope he's convicted, and I hope he burns in hell. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, because I think the appeal in this case is going to be interesting, because certainly the defense was ruled against by Judge Fran Gall a lot before this trial started, and so we'll have to see how that plays out.
And at 5:06, you and Donnie will have one last dance here, breaking down everything Delphi.
Yeah.
That's coming up 5:06 this afternoon. Let's keep it here in Central Indy, Guy. This story in Greenwood is heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is.
A 13-year-old was shot, and the investigation says there was a group of 6 boys, like all around the age of 13, playing with a gun, and then one of the 13-year-olds points the gun at another one, pulls the trigger, shoots him, and then everybody runs out. They flee, they panic. The person, according to the police report, the 13-year-old that pulled the trigger, calls 911, lies and says it was a suicide attempt, which the, doctors and everybody said, no, that's not what happened here.
Yeah.
And he has been taken into custody, and at 13 years old, he's now being charged with attempted murder.
Yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking all the way around. And first of all, listen, as much of a Second Amendment advocate as I am, I mean, how did a bunch of 13-year-olds have access to a gun? Yeah. And who owned that gun? And I've been saying for a long time that if you own a gun, you have to be a responsible gun owner. And one of your first areas of responsibility is making sure your gun is stored. And it's the way it's taught in gun safety classes, it's the way I wrote it in my book. It has to be inaccessible to untrained or unauthorized people. And listen, you can have a 13-year-old in your house who's completely trained and authorized to handle firearms. An intruder breaks in, you can have a 13-year-old that you've trained yourself to fully, safely, effectively handle that firearm. But a group of his friends, no. And so somebody, I would think, made a mistake in terms of how they stored this firearm, and that's a problem. In my mind, it violates a duty you have as a responsible gun owner. Then you get into the legal issues. And first of all, a 13-year-old in Indiana can't be charged with attempted murder as an adult. Okay, I mean, they can be charged with murder, and some other crimes you can get jurisdiction in adult court, but attempted murder.
Let me jump in here real quick. This may be a dumb question. What's the difference between being a 13-year-old charged with attempted murder to being an adult charged with attempted murder?
Well, how long you're sentenced to, where you serve your sentence, their number, and I don't practice in the juvenile courts, so I'm not an expert on that. But to be charged as an adult and to get an adult sentence, which would basically mean when you turn 18, you're now going into the adult prison system, and you're going to serve out the rest of your sentence. If you get charged as an adult at whatever age that you can be charged as, and by the way, murder, you can be charged all the way down to age 10 in Indiana under some circumstances. But it doesn't mean you go to adult prison when you're not 18. It means you go to the juvenile justice system, but then when you turn 18, you go into the adult penal system.
So you can age into a longer sentence.
You can age into a longer sentence. And as a juvenile, that's not what happens. Because you're not actually convicted of a crime as a juvenile. You're actually adjudicated to be a delinquent juvenile. And you're treated much, much differently than if you're actually found to be guilty of a crime. And the number one example of this we have is, remember the Noblesville middle school shooting that affected this whole state, this whole community. I mean, so dramatically.
Happened on Carb Day a number of years ago.
And we had a heroic teacher who saved a lot of lives that day. But that kid, because he didn't successfully kill anyone, he shot a poor little beautiful little girl multiple times and shot a heroic teacher who was saving lives in the process. He could not be charged as an adult because his victims didn't die. And it really is squarely on line with what we're talking about here with this Greenwood situation, because attempted murder doesn't allow you to be charged as an adult, which means he goes into the juvenile justice system, which also means he could very likely be released when he's 18. He's no longer a juvenile.
Does the fact that this sounds like an accident bear any weight at all to you?
Huge.
I mean, all I'm saying is it's not like, I don't know I wasn't there, obviously. I don't know what happened, but it sounds like these guys were playing with these kids, were playing with the gun. I mean, I've got a kid that's about to turn 13. I couldn't imagine. And the gun got in the wrong hands and went off, and somebody accidentally got shot. That's what it sounds like to me. And that could bear this outcome of the sentencing.
Exactly, and well, yeah, it can bear a huge effect on what crime they're even ultimately charged with, because we hear reports all the time of, oh, so and so is charged with this, charged with that. Well, that's not what ultimately the prosecutor's office decides to charge them with, and what the police say they should be charged with is very different than ultimately what the prosecutor's office decides to actually charge them with. So you can very easily, in fact, I would predict you'll see something more like criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon be the actual charge, and they'll be charged as a juvenile, which doesn't carry the same kind of penalties.
But if they left this kid to die, which is what it sounds like, everybody just left this gunshot victim behind, and then you lied about a 911 call, does that factor into any of this?
It has to.
Well, it can bear on guilt of the original crime, but it doesn't necessarily create another crime other than false reporting, which is only a misdemeanor, to actually call in and give a false narrative. Or it could ultimately get to obstruction of justice, which is a felony. So, yeah, let's don't be too conclusive on that, but let's see what those facts bear out.
Come back for one more segment?
You betcha.
Guy Relford with us. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Here is Jiffy Lube of Indiana's COO, Lonnie Hinkle.
Lots of Hoosiers belong to unlimited car wash programs because they want their car to look great. At Jiffy Lube, we're here to help you make sure your car runs great. So to help take care of your car inside and out, Jiffy Lube is offering everyone who belongs to a monthly car wash program a $20 discount and a free tire rotation from now through the end of the year. Just point out your car wash sticker and we'll do the rest. My Jiffy Lube teams are maintenance experts. Our computer system provides all of the manufacturer's maintenance recommendations for every make and model of vehicle, so we know exactly what every car needs to operate at its best. Jiffy Lube is your trusted one-stop shop for all that your car needs to run well for many years. You never need an appointment, and we now offer brakes, tires, tune-ups, and minor repairs at most stores. So stop in on your way to the car wash, save $20, plus get a free tire rotation just for belonging to a monthly car wash program.
Jiffy Lube. Nobody does it better.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
I had the ring already. She had made it very clear what kind of ring she wanted.
Yep.
I pretended that I was going to kneel and picked up a pine cone instead of pulling out a ring.
What a jerk. But when I saw that ring, I was like, oh, he did good.
I really love Amy. I really, really genuinely love Amy.
I love you too.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell. It's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-285-0395. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-285-0395. 800-285-0395. 800-285-0395.
Trust our family to take care of your family. Call us today for our family maintenance plan at 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's a special Veterans Day edition of the Hammer and Nigel Show, powered by the Veteran Support Network, Operation Rudolph. Help 50 vets living on the streets of Indy to get coats, socks, scarves, and much-needed cash. Go to VeteransSupportNetwork.org now to make a donation.
Connie, Jane, Dennis, $100 each. God bless you.
Right on.
Katie, 50. Ken and Roseanne, $10 a piece. That helps. Guy, James, $25 a piece. That helps. Again, we're raising money for Hoosier veterans today. Please keep it coming. Matt Bear.
All right, looking at southbound 465 west side, slow from Washington Street to Sam Jones Expressway because of construction. North side, Boone County, eastbound 865, stopped after the 65 interchange all the way over to Cooper Road. We look at eastbound 465, now stop and go traffic from Keystone Avenue to I-69. Inbound 65 slows MLK to Meridian Penn, and eastbound 70 stop and go traffic from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Crash, Greenwood, County Line Road, State Road 135. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better hot tubs. 24-hour water filtration, purification, and aeration means better water quality. Natural minerals and Epsom salts means better relaxation. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
62 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Monday Gunday with Guy Relford. Guy, I'm going to play you a piece of audio here. This is President-elect, former President Donald Trump, talking about his vision for constitutional carry.
I will protect the right of self-defense everywhere it is under siege, and I will sign concealed carry reciprocity. Your Second Amendment does not end at the state line.
Yeah, no, I mean...
reciprocity.
But it's a little different than constitutional carry. Here, what we're talking about is that every state, under national reciprocity, every state has to recognize every other state's license to carry. Just like they have to now recognize your driver's license, right? If you travel across state lines. National reciprocity, and we had a bill passed the House, actually, during Trump's first term, and we couldn't get Mitch McConnell to hear it in the Senate. But what it means is if you have a license to carry in whatever state you're in, every other state, and get this, including New York, New Jersey, California, Washington, Oregon, Hawaii, all these liberal states, they would have to recognize your ability to carry a concealed handgun within their state. That would be a dramatic difference.
And the chances of that happening are?
Well, in the House, we still haven't seen who's going to control the House, right? Looks pretty good, like we're only 2 or 3 seats away from a Republican majority, but you have to pass it in the House. But then you probably are going to have to get 60 votes in the Senate to get past cloture / filibuster. Do we have 60 votes in the Senate? That's where it's a little iffy. So we'll see. I'm glad that he says he wants to sign it. That may generate some momentum, but we'll see where it goes.
We'll see you again at 5:06 as we put a bow on this Delphi trial. But once again, special thanks to all of your sponsors at Premier Arms.
Oh, Premier Arms in Brownsburg. Absolutely. Check them out at premierarms.com.
And if somebody wants to follow you still doing Twitter, or is it Facebook you're trying to grow now?
Oh, well, I got kicked off of Facebook completely. I just rejoined that.
I'm
trying to build that following, but I'm still on Twitter at Guy Relford.
Guy Relford, you're the best. Thanks,
you, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
If you drink vodka and haven't tried Barkeep vodka yet, you're missing out. It's the cleanest vodka ever, smoothest vodka I've ever had, and a much better value than almost all the other top shelf vodkas.
Switch to Barkeep because it's made in Indy and distilled with corn from Indiana farmers. These guys are all about local, and they truly have made a better product. We've had it. It's awesome. Pick up a bottle at Indiana grocery stores, liquor stores, or visit barkeepvodka.com for a list of locations.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Absolute Comfort. Chris Wedekin is the owner, and he tells us why many homeowners are giving up their air conditioners for a high-efficiency heat pump.
By removing your air conditioner and replacing it with a heat pump, you are not only saving by getting a higher efficiency air conditioner, the heat pump works in reverse and saves you money in the wintertime as well.
See if a heat pump is the right move for you by going to AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
On this Veterans Day, the Veteran Support Network is working with missions in downtown Indy to identify homeless vets in need of coats, socks, gloves, and resource information this winter. Veteran Support Network, with honor, integrity, and service, has a goal of helping 50 homeless vets with Operation Rudolph this season of giving.
Help our Hoosier veterans living on the streets with your donation today. Go to veteransupportnetwork.org to donate now to Operation Rudolph. Donate now at veteransupportnetwork.org.
In the fight against lung cancer, it's game on, game strong. Franciscan Health leads the way with robotic technology to find and treat cancer sooner. Our entire team of multidisciplinary experts let cancer know it's hard to play against us. Franciscan Health is changing the game for lung cancer patients. Schedule a consultation or second opinion today. Visit franciscanhealth.org/lung cancer care.
Do you hear that? These are the sounds of our jeweler's workshop at Shane Company, where they're working their magic to bring beautiful, fine jewelry gifts to life. At Shane Company, we love jewelry as much as you do, and we know what it takes to create something special. No matter your budget, we craft our jewelry with expert care to be passed down for generations. With jewelry craftsmen in every store and an unmatched free lifetime warranty, we're here to make sure your jewelry always shines bright. Stop by and shop online at Shanco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Our nation's economic problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight. Dr. Ron Paul here, and this is why I recommend diversifying your IRA or 401k into gold, a proven bedrock in any economy, with my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold. Text the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
PA Jewelers is your must-shop store for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. PA Jewelers already has fine jewelry and gemstones discounted 70% below the box stores. Now, on Black Friday and Small Business Saturday, you get 10% off everything PA Jewelers sells. Estate jewelry, watches, and jewelry from local artists. Visit PA Jewelers inside Premier Arms, 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg, 317-858-3030, or online at premierarms.com.
Attention Indiana homeowners, are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Richard Allen found guilty on all 4 charges in the Delphi murder trial. While you're not going to hear anybody involved with the case talking about it, and some people in Indianapolis want new leadership in the Democratic Party. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
The president-elect makes another cabinet pick. Lisa Brady, Fox News, just announcing that former New York Congressman Lee Zeldin will be nominated to lead the Environmental Protection Agency. Zeldin just telling Fox News he's excited to help implement the Trump economic agenda.
Through the EPA, we have the ability to pursue energy dominance, to be able to make the United States the artificial intelligence capital of the world, to bring back American jobs to the auto industry.
Zeldin says they also plan to help businesses by rolling back regulations. Senate confirmation is needed for EPA administrator. Earlier, President Biden's climate envoy, John Podesta, called the Trump election bitterly disappointing at the annual COP Climate Summit.
We're going to inaugurate a president whose relationship to climate change is captured by the words hoax and fossil fuels.
The president-elect is expected to again pull the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Agreement, arguing in part the U.S. would bear too much of the economic burden. President Biden and Vice President Harris marking Veterans Day together at Arlington National Cemetery. And in his home state, Delaware, a plaque was unveiled in honor of the president's late son, Bo, who served in the National Guard.
Bo would be very honored by this plaque. Bo, he'd also say, though, Dad, it's not about me.
The memorial plaque ceremony at Grubworth Mansion in Claymont, Delaware. An Indiana man is convicted on all counts for the murders of 2 teenage girls, found dead after disappearing on an afternoon hike in 2017. 52-year-old Richard Allen could face the rest of his life in prison. The defense argued there was no DNA evidence linking him to the crime. New highs on Wall Street. The Dow up 304 points at the bell to a new record close. The S&P with its first close above 6,000. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Guilty on all 4 murder charges. Sunny, 61 degrees downtown. Radar is clear of any rain. Tonight's low dips into the lower 40s. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Nearly 8 years after Abigail Williams and Liberty German were killed in Delphi, a man has been convicted for their murders. Donnie Burgess reports.
Richard Allen was found guilty Monday on all 4 counts of murder. The jury spent around 20 hours in total deliberating. Allen's wife left the courthouse saying, "This is not over." The prosecution hugged each other and State Police Superintendent Doug Carter in the courtroom. The gag order will remain in effect through sentencing, which is scheduled for Friday, December 20th at 9 a.m. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
It was Ron Galvez with State Police who announced that gag order wasn't going to be lifted.
Obviously, everybody has already got the news of the verdict. With that being said, Judge Gull has not lifted the gag order.
That was just outside of the Carroll County Courthouse this afternoon, and that gag order not going to be lifted until after the sentencing, which is December 20th. This woman on Monument Circle said the limited access to the courtroom in the Delphi murders case made it difficult for her to make up her mind.
I don't think anybody who wasn't in the room looking at the evidence can give a fair assessment of whether it was right or wrong.
She says her gut feeling is there was reasonable doubt that Richard Allen killed the 2 girls. Taking the urban vote for granted, that's what two Indianapolis faith-based organizations say is happening with the state's Democratic Party. Here's Ryan Hedrick.
And that's why the party needs a change in leadership, says Reverend David Green, Sr., president of Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis. Green says the biggest mistake the party made leading up to the election was putting its resources in places that it had no chance to win.
There's clearly a focus on candidates who run, especially for statewide offices, focusing really on the rural community.
Green says Democratic President Mike Schmuel has been ineffective over the past 4 years. The Baptist Ministries Alliance is also calling for Schmuel to step aside. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
1 minute away from traffic and weather, it's 4:04.
$182,000.
What?
Yeah, $182,000. According to CBS News, the average American loses out on an average of $182,000 in Social Security income. And it's because they filed for their benefits, Rob, at the wrong time.
Learn how you could avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy.
We trust Bill to help with planning for our retirement, and you can too.
This free analysis could help you get the most income from Social Security while considering the impact on your spousal benefits, taxes, IRAs, and 401k withdrawals, and Medicare premiums.
If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912.
Don't lose $182,000 in Social Security income that's rightfully yours.
Call 317-932-9912. That's 317-932-9912.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, how are we looking, Matt Bear?
West Side has construction, Harrison. It's southbound 465. That's slow from Washington Street to Sam Jones Expressway. Also looking at inbound 65, stop and go 29th to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slowing down from Harding into Meridian, Illinois. North side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic after Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69 tight from 96 to 465. Boone County, northwest side, eastbound 865 slow into the 465 ramps. Crash West Side High School Road at Minnesota. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Come into any of their locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies for the day today. It is going to be a beautiful afternoon with highs near 61. Winds may gust at times near 15 and 20 miles per hour. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
We celebrate Veterans Day on the anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. The armistice that began on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For all we can ever do for our heroes is remember them and remember what they did. And memories are transmitted through words. They gave up everything for our country, for us. And all we can do is remember.
Yes, Veterans Day, November 11th, 2024. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
Chris Wilson is the president of the Veterans Support Network. He joins us. Chris, happy Veterans Day. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and happy Veterans Day to all of the veterans out there. We're happy to be with you and proud to be kicking off our program here to help veterans in need.
So, Chris, talk about Operation Rudolph. The Hammer and Nigel show has hooked up with your organization, VeteransSupportNetwork.org. What is Operation Rudolph?
So I'll start telling you about Veterans Support Network first.
Yes.
We're a small nonprofit charity. We actually started helping veterans back in February of this year. I did 21 years in the military and retired. When I retired, I lost my leg in a serious accident, so I have dedicated to giving back to help veterans. We've helped 37 veterans this year so far with miscellaneous stuff, such as rent, utility assistance, food assistance, car repairs, just about anything a veteran would need. So this weekend, we're kicking off our Operations Rudolph, where we are raising money and collecting coats, hats, gloves, scarves, socks, backpacks. And we're going to pass those out to homeless veterans in downtown Indianapolis with a $100 bill and a Christmas card to thank them for their service and hopefully help get them through the holidays.
And Chris, reading up a little bit on the Veteran Support Network, you guys also offer a feature to where if these homeless veterans that are out here on the streets, if they're looking for a place to go, if they're looking for help, or maybe they're having some pretty dark thoughts, because veteran suicide is one of the big problems our country has, your organization also helps with that, right?
That is correct. We partner with a couple other groups along with the VA to get these veterans into mental health if they have mental health. And we have 3 programs that we run. The first one is called Operation Scope, which I was telling you a little bit about, where we help veterans with their everyday needs. So we find the problem that's holding them back, and we eliminate that from their life so that they can move forward and have a better life. The second part is our Housing for Heroes program, which we're actually kicking off next year. But we've been able to work with some local realtors. We bring veterans in. We help them get them into houses, rental houses, and apartments. And through that process, we get them in, get them a job, help them get into mental health and addiction counseling if they need it. And then we follow up with them 6 months through a year to make sure that they're staying on track. So the goal is not to just get them off the street, but it's to get them integrated back into society where they have a successful life and hopefully don't go back to the street and fall back on bad habits.
Well, Chris, so that partially answers my question. Why is veterans homelessness, why is that so prevalent? Why is that prevalent? Why is that a problem? And it's addiction,
some
right?
Of the things that I've found through my research is we have a lot of veterans that come out of the military and they have mental health issues, and they don't have the right resources or the correct guidance to get to where they need to go. So they go in and they get put on medication, and then the medication's expensive, and it kind of spirals out of control for them, and it leads to financial difficulties, drug addiction, and ultimately being homeless. So our goal is to start at the root of the problem, find out if it is a mental health issue or an addiction issue that put them on the street, and then we try to build them back up and get them back into society with a good job where they're actually able to have their family around them as a support system. We also build our charity around these individuals as a support system. So if they need people to talk to, they could call us anytime just to have a conversation.
Chris Wilson is our guest, the president of Veteran Support Network. Hammer and Nigel show, partnering with them today to raise some money. And Chris, big picture here. I know sometimes we can just get so down in the weeds of certain groups and why things happen, but big picture, it just blows my mind that these are men and women who decided to fight for their country. They decided to defend their country. And here they are out on the streets. Other groups get taken care of by the government. Other groups have politicians making speeches about them all the time. But it feels like these heroes, these men and women, are often forgotten, and that breaks my heart.
I agree with you 100%. And that's why I started this charity, is so that hopefully we can make a difference. We could go out, help these veterans. And if we are making a big enough difference in this state and Ohio where we are located, then hopefully the senators and governors of those states will reach out to us to partner with us. And as it grows, we'll be able to make a huge impact across the country.
Now, the money we're raising here today helps Hoosier veterans here in Indiana, correct?
100% of what we raise in Indiana will stay in Indiana to help the veterans here. We have 2 locations, one in Indianapolis, one in Cincinnati. We are raising money for other projects out there in Cincinnati, but 100% of what we raise in the state stays in the state.
All right, so let's do it. Right now, if you want to go to our social media, Hammer and Nigel, Facebook or Twitter, we've got the link pinned to the top, or you could just go to their website and make a donation right now. VeteransSupportNetwork.org. That's veterans with an S. VeteransSupportNetwork.org. Chris Wilson is the president of Veteran Support Network. Chris, thank you so much for your service, and thank you for doing what you're doing.
I want to give a huge shout out to a few people, if that's okay.
Yeah.
We're actually have drop-off locations where people could drop off the items. Their drop boxes set up. One is Harley Davidson of Indianapolis. That's located in Fishers. We've got Texas Roadhouse of Fishers. We have Homemade Ice Cream and Bakery. They have 2 locations. One is in Zionsville.
Oh, I've been to that one. That's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. They also have their location at Hamilton Town Center. And then we have Uptown Cafe located in Noblesville and Carmel. So all of these locations have partnered with us, let us put a drop box in there where people could bring in hats, gloves, scarves, backpacks. Just throw them in the box. If you would like, you could put a little note inside. We'll send you a message back to let you know that we received it, and we appreciate everyone's support.
You can find all those locations at veteransupportnetwork.org, Chris. Also, very easy to donate. Every little bit helps, right?
Yeah, every penny helps. We actually have a goal of $5,000. We're going to pass out $100 bills to 50 homeless veterans along with the supplies. Our ultimate goal is $10,000 because we have other veterans that are reaching out to us. I actually had a veteran today contact me. He's unfortunately off work right now, and he's got 5 kids, so they're stressing how they're going to make it through the holidays, buying their kids gifts, and that's something that, we want to be able to support. So we want to make sure that every veteran has a good holiday and that their kids have a great holiday as well.
And really, if you've been blessed, if you've got a little bit of income to throw around here, really just 10 people donating $100 a piece, that's a quick $1,000. And that goes so far with what these guys are doing at Veteran Support Network. So again, it doesn't have to be $100. It could be $10. It could be $1,000. Whatever you feel comfortable giving, these guys will take it and they will do amazing things with it. Again, veteransupportnetwork.org, or go to our social media channels. Chris, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And again, thank you for your service. And we'll see if we can get some big bucks in here for you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
West side southbound 465 stop and go traffic from Rockville Road down to Sam Jones Expressway. That's a construction zone. Eastbound 465 slow Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65 stop and go from MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic. That's Harding to Meridian, Illinois. Crash west side Minnesota Street at High School Road. Traffic sponsored by Discover. Discover wants everyone to feel special. That's why they double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
62 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. We'll read some names of some donations coming up here in just a little bit. Also, Kevin Bowen will join us about 4:35. The Colts are a mess. Sounds like the locker room is in chaos. So he's going to break all of that stuff down. We've got more on the Delphi verdict coming up with Donnie and Guy at 5:06. But Nige,
yes,
I feel like this may be the last one of these we're going to do. All season long, Kamala Harris has been joining us to give us a recap on the Colts game the day before. And I just got a gut feeling. I don't think her heart's into it anymore.
I get it.
Touchdown, Jonathan Taylor! Colts game recap with Kamala Harris.
I don't care. I just don't care anymore. Ask Trump. You guys all seem to love him so damn much.
Fine, I'll do it. By the way, Karen, great campaign you ran there. Tell Mark Cuban in the Hags interview I said hello. Tell the walking corpse that is your boss I'll need my key back. Now, on to the Colts. Low energy, Shane Steichen went away from the running game in the second half. Jonathan Taylor was ignored in the second half. Just like the country went away from the disastrous policies of Kamala Harris and old balls Tim Walz. Right now, the Indianapolis Colts are just like the Democrats, total failures. And quite frankly, if I were running the team, I'd fire every damn one of them.
And this has been Colts Game Recap with Kamala Harris. Is this anything next?
Well, according to industry experts, the National Energy Assistance Directors Association, heating costs are going up again this winter, up to 23%. So if you don't have Window Nation windows, a lot of your money is literally going out the window. I've had Window Nation windows for years. I love them. And talk about an incredible deal going on right now. 50% off plus 0% interest for 60 months.
As we get ready for the nasty weather to make its way through central Indy, now is the time to prepare. Get your windows ready. If your windows are old and drafty and they let in cold air, call Window Nation, 866-90-NATION, and get an upgrade. Plus, this deal makes it incredibly easy. 50% off all style of windows and 0% interest for 60 months. 866-90-NATION. They'll answer any question you have or go to windownation.com. Tom Hammer and Nigel sent you.
My husband, Bob, has Parkinson's, and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care, and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. To learn more, eligible members call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority, so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
At Busey Wealth Management, we're proud to partner with individuals, families, and foundations, ensuring possibilities become achievements. From preserving and enhancing your assets to securing your legacy for future generations, we're focused on your success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth. Since 1868, member FDIC.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
What does the joy of Christmas mean to you? A gift? Time with family? Decorations and traditions? At Shepherd Community, the joy of Christmas is learning to read, feeling safe and loved, finding a stable job, and having a community that cares. Shepherd gives its neighbors gifts of joy and hope for a brighter future. You can give the joy of Christmas to neighbors living in poverty, not just at the holidays, but all year long. Visit caringatchristmas.org/give. That's caringatchristmas.org/give.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer in Indianapolis.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends
upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
And again, we're raising money today for Veterans Support Network. Scott, $300. My man. The staff of Calling All Angels put in $200.
Wow.
We got $100 from Shannon in Columbus. Joe and Nicole, some of our staff members here in the building. Ralph, William, Mark, Ty, all good for $100. You guys are rock stars. Please keep it coming.
And that can be found. The link is at veteransupportnetwork.org, or just go to our social media at Hammer and Nigel. Donate now. We're working with this organization, raising a bunch of money that will go directly to homeless indie veterans here on Veterans Day.
Nige, is this anything? 20 massage therapists in Florida are being accused of offering sex acts to undercover detectives during a sting operation they call Operation Skin So Soft. Quite the difference between Operation Rudolph, to which we're helping today, to Operation Skin So Soft.
Sure.
Here is the local sheriff talking about this situation, and I should probably remind you, the local sheriff in question here is Sheriff Grady Judd.
The undercover would say, no, just a massage. So on 3 different occasions, she continued to try to come back and upcharge him to engage in sex. She stood in front of the door so he couldn't leave, and then she tried to hold him down. This is a big undercover detective, and she might have been 5 foot tall. She wasn't as big as a popcorn fart, and she was trying to hold this man down. A word to the wise: if you don't want to get arrested and have your picture up here on a Skin So Soft bulletin board, don't do it. Next time, it can be the customers.
Love,
That is
love.
something.
Sheriff Grady Judd of Polk County, Florida.
I believe, I'm paraphrasing here, I'm not sure how he put it. She wasn't no bigger than a popcorn fart. Is that?
It's pretty accurate.
Do we know what that means?
A popcorn fart? I mean, I guess it's not as powerful as, say, like a beefer.
Here.
But
Here, wait. I typed in popcorn fart meaning in Google. Popcorn fart is a slang term that has 2 possible meanings. One meaning is something very dry and used for comparison, such as a hot day or overcooked food. The other meaning is a faint... The other meaning...
Come on, Nige.
The other meaning is a faint, non-smelly fart or a series of small farts that sound like popcorn fart.
Mike Pence used to sit in this chair. I'm going to hold it up for the YouTube camera. This is the chair that Mike Pence used to sit in.
He probably let a few popcorn farts into that chair during his tenure.
Maybe. All I know is that this story is awesome. This is something, and it gives us an excuse to do great moments in Sheriff Grady Judd history.
Yes.
This is when I believe there were some people that were threatening to go after some children in the community. And take a listen.
But we have received information in social media that some of the criminals were going to take their criminal conduct into the neighborhoods.
Oh, the
I would
rioters.
tell them, if you value your
That's
life,
right.
you probably shouldn't do that in Polk County, because the people of Polk County like guns. They have guns. I encourage them to own guns, and they're going to be in their homes tonight with their guns loaded. And if you try to break into their homes to steal, to set fires, I'm highly recommending they blow you back out of the house with their guns.
That's right. That was the Summer of Love and the rioters. This one here.
This is the school one, right?
Yeah, where there was a group of people threatening to come into a school and either shoot it up or do harm.
I mean, he holds up a gun and points it to the camera, I believe, during this.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Let me give it to you in Polk County vernacular.
This is the last
There
thing
it
you'll
is.
see before we put a bullet through your head if you're trying to hurt our children. We're going to shoot you graveyard dead if you come onto a campus with a gun, threatening our children or shooting at us.
That is so strong.
Yes.
I will follow Sheriff Grady Judd anywhere,
Yeah,
man.
I'm voting for him in the next presidential election.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
As summer fades and the cool breeze of fall sets in, it's the perfect time to get back to the basics, especially when it comes to your financial future. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe in simplifying your retirement plan. Our team of advisors help you build a customized retirement strategy that is designed to help reduce risk, increase income, and mitigate tax. Whether you're just starting out or looking to refine your plan, we're here to guide you every step of the way. It's never too early or too late to make sure your financial future is secure. Text BASICS to 888-494-5004 to download your complimentary retirement planning toolkit today. That's BASICS to 888-494-5004. Howard Bailey Financial. Back to the basics. Forward to your future. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Technology Recyclers is Indiana's #1 choice for computer and electronics recycling. A Hoosier veteran-owned company, Technology Recyclers is R2 certified, 100% landfill free, and always guarantees complete data destruction. You can expect free business pickups anywhere in Indiana. Visit Technology Recyclers at tech-recyclers.com or call 1-800-237-3887. Technology Recyclers, the official sponsors of tomorrow. That's tech-recyclers.com for a stress-free experience in recycling.
Pat Sullivan here, and the holidays are right around the corner, which means all the food prep in your home and then scraps and leftovers thrown right down the garbage disposal. Don't let a clogged kitchen sink ruin your holiday spirit. Consider upgrading your garbage disposal before it's too late. Call my friends at Hope Plumbing today for a premium garbage disposal and get $100 off. Leave the dirty work to Hope Plumbing. Visit hopeplumbing.com for all their holiday specials today.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What Hoosiers think about the verdict. 62 degrees and sunny on the circle. There's no rain on your radar. Tonight's low drops to 40. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 431. Not everyone sees the Delphi murders verdict in the same light. John Herrick reports.
When these people were told that the verdict had come in and Richard Allen had been found guilty for killing Abby Williams and Libby German, they said it's about time.
Ecstatic. I'm glad that they found somebody because the girls deserve justice.
Because I think that a jury of his peers found him to be in a legal court system.
But other Hoosiers say they have doubt in the verdict because they believe there was a reasonable doubt. Reporting in downtown Indianapolis, John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're not going to hear anything from anyone involved in the case for a little bit.
Obviously, everybody has already got the news of the verdict. With that being said, Judge Gull has not lifted the gag order.
Ron Califas with Indiana State Police confirming earlier this afternoon that the gag order will stay in place until Richard Allen's sentencing in just over a month. That's on December 20th. Joe Biden is giving his last Veterans Day speech as president.
Each one bound by the sacred oath to support and defend not a place, not a person, not a president, but an idea. An idea unlike any other in human history. We're the only country in the world founded on an idea. Every other country is based on geography or religion or politics.
Biden also asking for unity in America during his speech today. Roads need to be repaired and maintained all the time. That's why Republican State Representative Martin Carbaugh of Fort Wayne says he's grateful for the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program every year.
Hoosiers depend on having well-maintained, functional roadways, and that's why this matching grant is critical for locals to be able to keep up their infrastructure needs.
More than $139 million is going to more than 200 communities across the state because of the grants. And at the closing bell today, the Dow is up by 304, closing at 44,293. The Nasdaq increasing by 11 to 19,298. And the S&P 500 up by 5 to 6,001. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
Holidays will be here before we know it. Maybe you've already started shopping for someone on your list. AAA Hoosier Motor Club inviting you to join them, help make sure some local kids in need get gifts through the Toys for Tots program. AAA giving you the chance to send a holiday message of hope to Central Indy's less fortunate kids.
And as a thank you for donating to Toys for Tots, current AAA members will receive 25% off any merchandise in the travel store or adding someone to your AAA membership featuring their fabulous 24/7, 365 days a year roadside assistance for just $25. And non-members who donate will have the opportunity for early access to a special holiday offer, a classic AAA membership for just $50. Help local children in need this holiday season and secure your peace of mind with a AAA membership. Donate to Toys for Tots at AAA. Visit AAA.com or find the AAA store near you.
With traffic at 434, how are things going, Matt Bear?
Harrison, badly on the west side. We are now stopped on southbound 465 from Rockville Road down to Sam Jones Expressway. Moving, but at about 10 miles per hour through that construction. About 11-minute delay to get from Rockville down to Sam Jones. Inbound 65 stop and go from the White River to Meridian Penn. 10-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slow from Harding to Meridian, Illinois. Crash in the north split. It's on the ramp from northbound 65-70 continuing to northbound 65. Yeah, the ramp is open, but it is partially blocked, and we're slow back to Michigan Street. Traffic sponsored by General Motors. General Motors Marion is hosting a career fair on November 14th and November 16th. Hiring skilled trades journey person roles. Visit facebook.com/General Motors Careers to learn more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For tonight, partly cloudy, low temperatures cooler in the mid-30s. Tuesday will feature sunshine in the afternoon. Our high temperatures slightly below average in the lower 50s. On Wish TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a special guest on the hotline.
Kevin Bowen is one part of the wake-up call with KB and Andy, 107.5 The Fan, Monday through Friday in the mornings. Kevin, it seems like the loss to Buffalo has almost become secondary to what in the hell is going on inside of that locker room with the Indianapolis Colts right now. I know you guys talked about this morning on your show. I'm going to play you a piece of audio from Kenny Moore, one of the veteran defensive backs for the Indianapolis Colts, and then I want to get your thoughts afterwards.
I don't think everybody is working as hard as possible, and obviously it's showing. I'm not the type to sugarcoat it, honestly. If I don't think the urgency is there. I don't think the details are there, so I don't think the effort is there, and I don't see everything correlating from meetings to practice to the games, and it shows.
So, KB, who is that a shot at? Is that Steichen? Is that the quarterback play? Is that a shot at Ballard? What do we make of this?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, certainly you could probably look at it. He wanted to reiterate later on in the press conference he was not referencing quarterback. It's hard. Okay, is he talking about the offense? They can't score more than 20 points. Well, then I'm thinking, wait, where was the defense in weeks 1 and weeks 2 when they brought back all 11 starters and the defensive coordinator and they got gashed and were a huge reason why you started 0-2. I guess it's a shot at Ballard indirectly. I mean, he is such a staunch believer in the locker room and culture and what all that means and holding that to such a high standard. So I certainly slot it there. Steichen, one of his 4 core beliefs is preparation. When he hears the word preparation, he's probably not going to like that, I would assume. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I could go down the list. But certainly I think if you're Jim Irsay right now, you look at Chris Ballard and you look at Shane Steichen. And, again, Chris Ballard's biggest belief, locker room. Shane Steichen's biggest, strength as a coach is supposed to be the offensive side of the ball. And, again, the Colts haven't scored over 20 in 5 straight games. So if I were Jim Irsay, I would have big issues with my 2 highest-ranking officials and the 2 things that they pride themselves in more than anything.
KB, have you ever seen a Colts locker room like this in disarray? Like Colts players, multiple Colts players had the same sentiment that Kenny Moore had. I mean, we've had bad Colts seasons, but have you ever seen a Colts locker room like this before?
That's a good question, Nigel. I mean, certainly the 2022 season was dysfunctional beyond belief.
Oh.
I don't know if we had a game, though, where, you could single out, 3 players, though, were – as public as they were with those comments. I mean, you definitely had off-the-record stuff or behind-the-scenes stuff, but, to say it in front of a mic, I think is a little bit different. So, again, we haven't reached, I think, 2022 levels of embarrassment, but, I mean, we're certainly, climbing the mountain pretty quickly to that level. And
what happened in 2022, Kevin, for those who can't recall? What was 2022? Why was it so bad?
Yeah, so that was the Matt Ryan year. They brought in Matt Ryan. They thought, here's this, former MVP, veteran quarterback. He's going to, be the, adult that Carson Wentz wasn't, for lack of a better interpretation of how the Colts felt it. They fired Frank Reich midway through the season. Jim Irsay demanded that Sam Ehlinger be played. Jim Irsay brings in, Jeff Saturday's interim coach. They blow the biggest lead in NFL history in Minnesota. Saturday loses his final 7 games. We could go on and on.
That was a bad season.
Yeah, again, I don't think we're there, but, literally, thank you to the Cowboys and the Jets for their national, annual dysfunction, or else the Colts would be the laughingstock of the NFL right now with how they've handled the quarterback and the reaction that it's been the last 2 weeks.
And yet, are the Colts totally out of any playoff aspirations?
Playoffs? Playoffs?
Boy, that is a hard question on a Monday, 24 hours, that effort.
I know.
I guess to answer it, though, no, they're not out of it. 7 playoff teams. We expanded the playoffs a few years ago in the NFL, so that 7th team, if you look at it right now as a wild card team, it's probably going to hover around 9 wins. Now, asking the Colts to go 5-2 the rest of the season to get to 9-8 is probably a laughable task. But if you do look at the schedule, I think the only team better than 500 is the Lions. Maybe the rest of the way. I would have to double check that. So, you're getting back to the schedule where, we saw this team beat Miami and Tennessee earlier in the year, and that was basically the Colts playing C- football, which is better than the opponent's, D+ football. Well, we're starting to get into those teams again. Again, the Jets have lost 6 or 7. It's the Patriots. The Broncos are certainly decent, but they have a rookie quarterback. You see the Titans again. You see the Jags. You see the Giants, who are going for the number 1 pick. There is, I guess, a pathway for it, but man, it's just hard for me to go there on a Monday.
And Kevin, here's what I've seen on social media, after the first half of that game yesterday against Buffalo. So after the first half, here's what I've seen since then on social media. I've got half my timeline laughing because they support Anthony Richardson. Oh, all you people wanted Flacco to play. How you feel now? And the other half going, listen, it's not the flex you think it is. They both suck. So what are we doing with this quarterback position here?
Yeah, that is, first off, probably a pretty accurate statement. Again, when you make the move to Flacco, theoretically you're improving in the short term. And the reality is he's been a turnover machine the last 2 weeks. 6 turnovers, 2 touchdowns in 21 drives. So it's not even when he's not turning the ball over that you're actually doing something with it. You're 7 of 23 on 3rd down. You could go on and on. So the thought with playing Richardson is, in the short term, it might be ugly. It might be what Flacco looks like, but theoretically, there at least is a hope and a prayer that the long term is there. It's kind of funny. They played the Bills yesterday. I was talking to some Bills people in the press box before the game started, and, it is amazing. They had a very similar start with Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a very poor first, you could even make a case, second year in the NFL. And not to say that Anthony Richardson would turn into Josh Allen, but basically they were saying no, you stick and see what you've got, because if you bail, no one wants to see Band-Aid short-term approach when it's just the same song and dance this franchise has done for the last 5 or 6 years. So I think I said to you guys maybe even last week, we've seen this movie before. Joe Flacco's just a different lead actor. The short-term gains of 2 months of him possibly playing football and you getting to 8-9 wins, to me, makes a little difference. The most important part of the season is the development of Anthony Richardson. And if you don't want to be optimistic about it, then look at it glass half empty and say, at least you get an answer on Richardson and you don't waste the 2025 offseason thinking he's the guy. You play him the rest of the season, he continues to struggle, then you get that answer, you can pivot as a franchise and see where you need to go at the most important position in all of sports.
So I know you guys got a lot on your plate. You got good news with the Hoosier football program, college basketball coming back. Then you got bad news with the Purdue football program, the Colts. Pacers are beat up. Had a good win yesterday, but they're beat up. What's coming up on the big show tomorrow?
Yeah, so we'll have Rick Carlisle join us tomorrow at 8 a.m. He joins us every Tuesday. And like you said, and Rick Carlisle had this quote after the game: "Thank you to the pissed-off Colts fans who made their way over to Gainbridge Fieldhouse."
Yep.
They were loud and not happy seeing the Knicks, but the Pacers got a very important win. And like you said, IU football. We're going to have Jeff Radjon, who covers IU. He's going to join us coming up at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Number 5 in the Associated Press poll. We'll see the college football rankings come out tomorrow night. And they have the game of the year, probably the biggest game that program has had in eons, coming up a week from Saturday. It's a bye week, and then at the Ohio State Buckeyes coming up a week from Saturday.
It's a wake-up call with KB and Andy Monday through Friday in the mornings, 107.5 The Fan. KB, awesome stuff, man. We'll talk later in the week.
You bet. Thanks as always, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You've heard me say before, I'll say it all the time with pride. My Galaxy concrete garage floor coating is out of this world, especially when you see the before and after photos. My garage floor was just so unmaintained and cracked and dirty and uneven. And the guys at Galaxy Concrete Coatings came in within a day and turned my floor into something new, 4 times as strong, lifetime warranty. And yeah, they don't use epoxy. That's the stuff the other guys use. They use polyurea. That's the new standard for coatings. Did such a good job in my garage, I'm having them back out to check out my basement. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Pat Sullivan here. Fire emergency? I've had one. If you do, call Michaelis. Owner Richard Michaelis explains why.
Michaelis is local and family owned. 39 years of experience with 24/7, 365 response. The Michaelis Corporation is IICRC certified, restoring your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
And Michaelis helps you through the insurance process, giving you peace of mind. Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Have you lost Indiana Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Friendly reminder to change your filter. Head on over to our website at familyhvac.net for some of the best pricing on filters around.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Don't miss the Flying Toasters 20th anniversary celebration Saturday, November 16th at the Paramount Theater in Anderson with special guest 45 RPM. Tickets available at theflyingtoasters.com.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Head to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win 4 tickets to see the Flying Toasters 20th Anniversary Show at Paramount Theater in Anderson on Saturday, November 16th.
More info online at WIBC.com.
All right, we got a couple things going on here. Number one, we need just a few more people to hit that thumbs up on the YouTube feed of WIBC. Help us get over 100. We would appreciate that. So if you're able to, go to YouTube, look for WIBC, give us a thumbs up, help us get over 100. Number two, we've got Guy Relford and Donnie Burgess coming in here in just about 10 minutes. Their final breakdown of Delphi, the murder trial. And these guys have been rock stars. So they're going to come in here at 5:06. And on the backside of Matt Bear's Traffic, Nigel and I are going to talk about how we can help some Hoosier heroes. So we got a lot of stuff going on here. Matt Bear, how are the roads?
Lawrence, eastbound 465 at 71st. That's a stall in the left center lane. A van is broken down with traffic stop past Keystone Avenue. Delay is at 39 minutes. Crash down North Split going from northbound 65-70 continuing on the ramp to northbound 65 ramp is open partially blocked. Stopped to Michigan Street. Slow down to Fletcher. Inbound 65 stop and go from the bridge down to Meridian. Pen 8 minutes on the delay. West side southbound 465 stop and go traffic from Rockville Road to Sam Jones Expressway. That's a construction zone. And outbound Penn Pike stopped before 56th Street because of a crash at Penn Pike at East 56. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better hot tubs. 24-hour water filtration, purification, and aeration means better water quality. Natural minerals and Epsom salts means better relaxation. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
62 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Susan, Thomas, Phil, Madonna, Robert, Angel, all put in $100 to help some Hoosier veterans, Nige. Like, I feel guilty not reading everybody's name because every dollar helps.
No, I think it's awesome, actually, because it means we're being inundated with donations right now on Veterans Day with money that will go to help homeless veterans here on the streets of Indianapolis and in the state.
Yes. Veterans Support Network has teamed up with us. And all throughout the day today, we're trying to raise as much money as we can, and all the money stays here in Indy to help the Hoosier veterans who are down on their luck. And that's so heartbreaking when you think about that. Men and women who've decided they want to serve their country. They want to fight and defend your freedom, but then they get some bad breaks along the way. And so many people have forgotten about these people. Well, we're not going to do that here today. It's Veterans Day. We love our vets, and we're going to try to pick these folks up a little bit.
You know what? We love our fans. We love our listeners, our loyal friends that listen to this radio station. We had an initial goal of $5,000. We surpassed that long ago. I thought it would take us the whole show to get there. And that's dumb on me to think that. You know, idiot. Like, we've... Any amount helps. Any amount helps. It doesn't have to be $800. It doesn't have to be it could be $5.
Right. People have donated very small amounts and big amounts. Whatever you can do to help, I promise you, it's going to a great, great cause. Helping Hoosier veterans who are homeless, maybe they're having some issues. This is a great group of people that has decided they want to help. Veterans Support Network. So if you can donate anything at all, here's what you do. Go to our social media, Facebook or Twitter, and pinned at the top, there should be a link to Veterans Support Network. Make a donation there. Or just go to the website, veteranssupportnetwork.org. That's veterans with an S, veteranssupportnetwork.org, and just make a donation. It's that simple, and it is such an important cause on this Veterans Day. And you're right, Nigel, our listeners are the best.
Yep.
We're very blessed to be in the position we are. You and I are a couple radio nerds that came up through the ranks, man, and this is it. This is the pinnacle of everything we've ever worked for, to have the people around us that we have, like producer Allison, like Matt Baer. We've got Harrison in the newsroom, Donnie, John Herrick, the whole newsroom.
And look, our management who took a chance on us.
Yes, they did. They
Are you
did.
kidding me?
We're a little different than what Garrison used to do. We're a little different than what even the Chicks used to do when they had the afternoon show. But you guys have had faith in us, and it's our job to inform you. It's our job to entertain you. And every once in a while, Nigel and I get to pay it forward, and we get to help people in the community. We love the Salvation Army Radiothon. Do I love everything that organization has ever done? No. But helping Hoosiers? Hell yes. Sign me up for that. And that's what we're doing with the Veterans Support Network today. So please, if you can, if you've been blessed in any way, make that donation, veteranssupportnetwork.org, or go to Hammer and Nigel Show, Facebook, Twitter, make that donation there. All right, the big story today, Richard Allen, guilty on all counts in the murders of Abby and Libby in Delphi. One last time, Guy Relford and Donnie Burgess. They're going to come in here. They're going to recap everything. They'll give their thoughts on the decision, what's next, the sentencing information. One last dance with Donnie and Guy. It's coming up next.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi, my entire family's obsessed with all things Wicked, but my kids can't stop watching the trailer, and now they're having a Wicked-themed sleepover. Do you think our internet can handle all of the streaming and memeing going on?
Well, we've engineered our Xfinity gateways to handle hundreds of devices at once, so they can all stay magically connected.
Wow. Are you a wizard?
I wish. No, just someone that won't let a bad connection burst your internet bubble.
Now through December 22nd, get Thrillifyingly fast 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract and free Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com to switch today. Keep the magic going from your screen to the big screen. And see Wicked, only in theaters November 22nd. Restrictions apply. Requires privilege bill and auto-pay stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply. Currently $56 a month for internet service and $15 for Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-285-0395. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-285-0395. 800-285-0395. 800-285-0395.
On this Veterans Day, the Veteran Support Network is working with missions in downtown Indy to identify homeless vets in need of coats, socks, gloves, and resource information this winter. Veteran Support Network, with honor, integrity, and service has a goal of helping 50 homeless vets with Operation Rudolph this season of giving.
Help our Hoosier veterans living on the streets with your donation today. Go to veteransupportnetwork.org to donate now to Operation Rudolph. Donate now at veteransupportnetwork.org.
The holidays are a magical time to get engaged. At Shane Company, we're here to help you create your dream engagement ring in just 3 easy steps. Choose a setting that speaks to your style. Compare diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. Then personalize it with a decorative crown and special engraving. Or choose a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. At Shane Company, you'll find everyday competitive prices, a no-pressure environment, and an unmatched free lifetime warranty. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Our nation's economic problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight. Dr. Ron Paul here, and this is why I recommend diversifying your IRA or 401k into gold, a proven bedrock in any economy, with my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold. Text the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply. Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning. Owner Robert Kirby says the American Standard brand is the best built on the market today, but there's more to it than that.
American Standard does a great job with a lot of training for our employees and everything, so we do a lot of extra training. I think that helps better the product too.
See the difference in quality and training at KirbyHeating.com. Located in Pittsboro, serving Hendricks and surrounding counties, Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Coming up in 2 minutes, the verdict is guilty in the Delphi murders trial. Donnie Burgess will tell you more. What people in Indianapolis think about that guilty verdict, and why one expert thinks that business owners in Indiana are happy with Mike Braun winning the race for governor. Those stories and more all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recyclers Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Shifting priorities at the EPA. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. President-elect Trump says his pick for administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency is former New York Congressman Lee Zeldin, who's emphasizing the role he can play on the economy, beginning with energy dominance.
I'm excited to get into work to implement President Trump's economic agenda, and I think the American people are so hungry for it. It's one of the big reasons why they're sending him back to the White House.
If confirmed by the Senate, the president-elect says Zeldin will ensure fair and swift deregulatory decisions to unleash the power of American businesses while maintaining the highest environmental standards. Earlier today, he named New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik as his pick for UN ambassador. President Biden announces new health benefits during his final Veterans Day in office.
For the final time in office, President Biden marked Veterans Day by laying a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery.
It's been the greatest honor of my life to lead you, to serve you, to care for you, to defend you, just as you defended us.
The president, who was joined by Vice President Kamala Harris for the first time since last week's election, called for coming together as a nation. He also announced an expansion of cancers covered by the PACT Act, legislation providing care for veterans exposed to toxic chemicals.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Several airlines suspending service in Haiti after a Spirit Airlines flight was hit by gunfire, blamed on gang violence. That flight was diverted to the Dominican Republic, where it landed safely, one flight attendant injured.
Today, the State Department issued a security alert stating that the U.S. Embassy in Port-au-Prince is aware of gang-led efforts to block travel to and from Port-au-Prince, which may include armed violence and disruptions to roads, ports, and airports. The statement goes on to advise, do not travel to Haiti.
Fox's Jonathan Seri. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
They believe he's guilty. 61 degrees, mostly clear skies over the circle. No rain to worry about when you check the radar. 40 is your low for tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox from Us Roofing. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Richard Allen has been found guilty of the 2017 Delphi murders. Here's Donnie Burgess.
The jury reached their verdict after 20 hours total of debating and discussing the case against Allen. He was found guilty on all 4 charges of murder for the killings of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. Allen's wife was heard saying this isn't over as she left the courthouse Monday. The families of Abby and Libby embraced in the courtroom. Sentencing is set for Friday, December 20th. The gag order will remain in effect, which means you won't be hearing from anyone anytime soon. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
This woman on Monument Circle said the limited access to the courtroom in the case made it difficult for her to make up her mind.
I don't think anybody who wasn't in the room looking at the evidence can give a fair assessment of whether it was right or wrong.
She says her gut feeling, though, is there was reasonable doubt that Richard Allen killed the two girls. Plenty of Indiana business owners are pleased with Mike Braun being elected the state's next governor. So says Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business.
Focus on good-paying jobs, which means a focus on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math jobs, and maybe having more state money going into workforce training.
Dick tells WIBC's Tony Katz he's interested to see how Braun tries to bring economic development to the Hoosier state once he's in office. Roads need to be repaired and maintained all the time. It's why Republican State Rep. Martin Carball from Fort Wayne is grateful for the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program.
Hoosiers depend on having well-maintained, functional roadways, and that's why this matching grant is critical for locals to be able to keep up their infrastructure needs.
More than $139 million is going to more than 200 communities across the state because of the grants. And the Colts lost their third straight game of the season Sunday.
Well, today, it was just turnovers mostly. There was times where we could kind of get going and then we turned the ball over.
Quarterback Joe Flacco, who accounted for all four of the team's turnovers in a loss to the Buffalo Bills. Head coach Shane Steichen has already confirmed Flacco will remain the starter at quarterback next weekend. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
As the summer fades and the cool breeze of fall sets in, it's the perfect time to get back to the basics, especially when it comes to your financial future. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe in simplifying your retirement plan. Our team of advisors help you build a customized retirement strategy that is designed to help reduce risk, increase income, and mitigate tax. Whether you're just starting out or looking to refine your plan, we're here to guide you every step of the way. It's never too early or too late to make sure your financial future is secure. Text BASICS to 888-262-1104 to download your complimentary retirement planning toolkit today. That's BASICS to 888-262-1104. Howard Bailey Financial. Back to the basics. Forward to your future. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, northeast side Lawrence. A broken down van has traffic stopped on southbound 465 at East 71st Street, backed up all the way past Keystone Avenue for a delay of 44 minutes. And because of that van, southbound 69 has it bad in those exit lanes from I-69 to 465. That exit backed up all the way to 106th Street. That is a delay time right now, 14 minutes to make it to the interchange. Inbound 65 is stop and go before MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slows Belmont to the south split exit north, and we're slow up to the north split because of an earlier crash that has cleared. West side southbound 465 stop and go from West 10th down to Sam Jones Expressway because of construction. Crash Lawrence, Penn Pike at East 56th Street. Traffic sponsored by General Motors. General Motors Marion is hosting a career fair on November 14th and November 16th, hiring skilled, trained journey person roles. Visit Facebook.com/General Motors Careers to learn more. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For tonight, partly cloudy, low temperatures cooler in the mid-30s. Tuesday will feature sunshine in the afternoon. Our high temperatures slightly below average in the lower 50s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. It is Veterans Day. We are working with the Veterans Support Network, something called Operation Rudolph. Very, very simple. It's a flash fundraiser. We are raising money during this show only for homeless Indiana veterans that are on the streets. And well, I say this show only. You could continue to donate after the show is over, but we have... Our fans, our people that listen to the show, our friends have gone above and beyond anything of what we thought we would raise here today. And we're only 2 hours into the show.
Our goal was $5,000. We're almost at $7,000. So thank you so much. And hey, listen, don't get complacent. Let's keep going. Pile it on.
Right.
Run up the score. The more money we bring in, the more Hoosier veterans we help.
Every little bit helps.
Right.
Every little bit helps. There's several ways you can donate. It all points the same direction. But at Hammer and Nigel on social media or veteransupportnetwork.org, there is a link that just says donate now. Donate $1. Donate $5. Donate $100. Whatever you want.
And we said it earlier. Every dollar helps, and this time of year, a lot of people are begging for your donation, right? This is the season of giving. It kind of kicks off around Thanksgiving time to around Christmas. We're going to help the Salvation Army coming up here in about a month or so, and we're going to raise as much money as we can. But right now, it feels like this is a forgotten group. You know, we live in a country where if you cross the border illegally, depending on the state you live in, they're going to give you a hotel stay. They're going to give you, $1,000 Visa cards and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, men and women who have defended this country, who have served their country, are sleeping on the streets out here. They're the forgotten heroes of this country, but that's not going to happen on our watch here at the Hammer and Nigel show. So please, if you can help these Hoosier heroes, donate right now, veteransupportnetwork.org, or just go to our Facebook or Twitter, Hammer and Nigel. It's pinned at the top, and let's help these folks out. Big story today. Richard Allen found guilty on all counts in the Delphi murder trial of Abby and Libby, and nobody has been delivering better coverage of this story than Donnie Burgess of the WIBC Newsroom and Guy Relford, defense attorney. Donnie, we'll start with you. Your overall takeaway from the jury coming up with a unanimous decision that Richard Allen is guilty.
Well, we've all heard over the last few weeks of this trial how sharp the jury is, how in tune and intensely focused on this trial they've been. They started deliberating Thursday afternoon around 1 o'clock, and altogether they've spent about 20 hours on this. When I was there Saturday outside of the courthouse, they brought in the defense. They brought in Richard Allen because the jury wanted to see some evidence. They wanted to go back through some things. So from the jury's perspective, what they have been presented this entire case, they took it serious. They took dozens and dozens, probably hundreds of pages of notes at this point, went through hours of deliberation, debating, discussing, and they came to the conclusion today that they are all convinced that Richard Allen committed 4 counts of murder, killing Abigail Williams and Liberty German nearly 8 years ago.
Now, real quick, just reset why this is 4 counts, because I know a lot of people are saying, why is it 4 counts? There were only 2 girls.
Yeah, so the 4 counts, it's 2 of the counts, bear with me here, trying to remember a lot of things. 2 of the counts is Richard Allen committing knowingly and willfully, like committing the murders of the girls. The other 2 counts, which were a big part of the state's case, were committing murder while attempting to, commit
Kidnapping.
Yes.
Okay, so there basically was a kidnapping murder charge piled on top of the original
because
murder
the state originally wanted 4 charges of murder plus 2 charges of kidnapping, but they could not, I guess they could not prove like the actual completion of kidnapping, so those 2 were not added on. But yes, Richard Allen, all 4 counts of murder.
Guy Relford, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, as I've been saying for my whole legal career, I've had a lot of faith, and I have a lot of faith in the jury system. And one thing that all of us as commentators, who are not in the courtroom every single day, who are not in the jury box, who are not listening to the testimony as it comes in, who are not seeing the photographs and all the other exhibits that come in, or who are not evaluating the credibility of the witnesses. We any of us who are not in that courtroom, that jury box every single day, we have an imperfect opinion on anything that's going on in there. And I have a lot of respect for juries generally. I have a lot of respect for the jury system. We have the best system in the world in terms of our criminal justice system. Do juries always get it right? No, and there are some historical examples of when they didn't, but I have a lot of faith in the system. So I have to say, first of all, that I respect the jury's verdict, and at the same time, I have to say I'm surprised by it because as I've heard the reporting come out of that courtroom, as I've heard the most critical evidence, be assessed and be explained as far as how it came into that courtroom, I thought there was reasonable doubt as to whether Richard Allen was Bridge Guy. I thought there was reasonable doubt as to whether the unfired cartridge found at the scene came out of his gun. And I thought there was reasonable doubt as to whether the confessions that he made repeatedly, a lot of them, whether they were actually voluntary and consensual or whether they were coerced through the conditions that he was held in. I thought, and those are the three cornerstones, the three, main pieces of the state's case. I thought there was reasonable doubt as to each one of those. But you know what? That jury, and as Donnie said, and Donnie's reported on this so incredibly well, as we've all said, this jury was smart. They were educated. They understood the evidence. You could tell that by the questions that they asked during the course of the trial. And they evaluated the evidence. They saw it as it came in, and they decided that they were convinced beyond a reasonable doubt. Beyond a reasonable doubt is the part that surprises me.
Right. Again, you've made this perfectly clear, Guy. It's not that you need Richard Allen to be completely innocent, to be this just angel that was, being framed by the state. There just needed to be reasonable doubt. And Friday, there was reasonable doubt. Saturday, the jury didn't come up with a decision, so that tells us there were reasonable doubt. Something happened between the time they got out of deliberation Saturday to around noon today. That's what I'm curious in.
Well, yeah, and listen, I've read a lot of studies about juries and how juries deliberate and interactions among juries. There could have been, you can't draw any conclusions about the length of time. There could have been 11 people who were convinced beyond a reasonable doubt for day 1, day 2, day 3, and it could have been one person that they're all talking to, they're all deliberating with, they're all having discussions with, that they needed to come to the other side and decide that
that's where I was at in my jury trial.
Yeah, and so we don't know. It could have been the other way. It could have been 6-6 on the first vote, but then they talk and they deliberate. So we don't know. We don't know how that went. We're all just speculating on that. But I have to reiterate, I have a lot of respect for the jury system in this country. It's the best criminal justice system that there exists anywhere in the world.
And what has happened since Saturday, like I said earlier, that's when Richard Allen and his defense team came back to the courthouse. Some evidence was displayed. We believe it was, we had heard the interrogation videos and the down the hill video, some of that material. And then the jury left around 2:45 that day. Now, they had a limit till 4 o'clock, and they could choose to stay longer if they wanted. They consumed whatever that was in the courtroom. Allen and his defense team left, and by 2:45, they were gone. And I don't know if we can draw anything from that or not.
Again, we're so speculating here by not being in that room while they're deliberating, but they could easily have been listening to audio, including within the videos of the interrogation, and comparing that to the voice they heard on the down the hill video. And they could have decided on that basis that that's a match, and they were convinced beyond a reasonable doubt. Combine that with, with the confessions themselves and the other evidence, they could have easily come to their verdict beyond a reasonable doubt. I get it.
All right, let's take a little time out here. And when we come back, I've got questions for both of you, Donnie and Guy. Now that the verdict is in, what's next?
Yeah, what's the sentencing look like? Is the death penalty in play?
And
let's talk about that.
The lawyers now speak with the jurors. What did they see? What did they look for? We've got Guy Relford, we got Donnie Burgess. This conversation will continue in just a moment. Right now, Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
Northeast side of Lawrence, it is southbound 465 at 71st. That is a stall blocking the right center lane. Make that the left center lane. Stopped past Keystone Avenue to Westfield Boulevard. Delay time of 43 minutes. It's also stopped those exit lanes from southbound 69 to 465. Yeah, it's a mess. Backed up from the interchange to 106th Street for delay time of 12 minutes to make that exit. Looking at inbound 65 stop and go from the White River down to west. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. And on the west side, southbound 465 stop and go traffic before West 10th Street down to Sam Jones because of construction. 12 minutes on the delay. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
62 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Make that donation right now. VeteransSupportNetwork.org. It's veterans with an S. VeteransSupportNetwork.org. Or go to the Hammer and Nigel Show, Facebook and Twitter, and help out some homeless Hoosier veterans on this Veterans Day. The more money you can bring in, the more we can help those brave Hoosiers who signed up to defend our country, but they've fallen on some hard times. Let's pick these folks up. All right, when we come back, more from Donnie Burgess, more from Guy Relford. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, if you haven't tried Barkeep vodka yet, you're missing out. It's the cleanest vodka ever. They utilize a new compression filtering process that reduces bite, burn, and aftertaste. Really one of the smoothest vodkas I've ever had. And it's a better value than almost all the other top shelf vodka.
Made in Indy, distilled with corn from Indiana farmers. And if that's not enough, it's just a better product. It's an amazing vodka. Nigel and I know what we're talking about here. So visit any Indiana grocery store, liquor store, or visit barkeepvodka.com. Barkeepvodka.com. Get that list of locations.
Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration.
Of course, insulin is absolutely necessary with type 1 diabetes, but the less you have to take of the insulin, the longer you live and the healthier you are. And that can definitely be reduced. Almost every single patient that we've treated with type 1 diabetes have been able to cut their insulin levels in half.
Oh, wow.
I think of one gentleman who had really severe type 1 diabetes. He was like, well, there's nothing you can do about that. You know, they can't be cured. And I said, no, but let's get your health up, you know, get all your vitamins, minerals that you're deficient on. Get that up working, get some botanicals into your system, some homeopathics, and see what we can't do. Cutting down on his insulin in half had some very amazing different types of results in his life. He had more energy. He was able to exercise. His wound healing, his sex life improved.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
It's starting to be fall in Indiana, the perfect time to tackle home projects you've been putting off before winter arrives. With Moss Roofing by your side, you don't have to do it alone. They're ready to assist with your roofing and siding needs, ensuring your home is safe and ready for the holidays. Let Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, give your home a serious glow-up with premium James Hardy siding, tough enough to face Indiana's wild weather and stylish enough to turn heads on your block. And the best part, their free inspections come with a 3D design preview so you could see your home's stunning makeover before the work begins. Contact Moss Roofing for a job done right every shingle time at Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, or call 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 317-747-3665. That's 747-3665. Or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com. And don't forget, tell them Tony Katz sent you.
Hi, it's Bob with Royal Spa. Simply said, Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Custom engineered to last a lifetime and cost less to operate. That's simply better. Our water has 24-hour circulation, filtration, aeration, and purification. That's simply better water. Natural minerals to enhance water quality and safe to use with Epsom salts. That's simply better relaxation. Simply said, Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better.
Royal Spa. Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Our nation's economic problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight. Dr. Ron Paul here, and this is why I recommend diversifying your IRA or 401k into gold, a proven bedrock in any economy, with my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold. Text the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Don't stress about plumbing repairs. Call LD Smith for honest advice and a free second opinion on any estimate.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest. This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer in Indianapolis.
Nigel Show.
Richard Allen guilty on all counts in the killing of Abby and Libby in the Delphi case. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nigel's here.
Hello.
We've got Guy Relford in studio, attorney, WIBC Newsroom's Donnie Burgess. So, Donnie, do we have any timeline on an appeal or a statement from the defense or anything yet?
Timeline, no. So we do know that whatever process needs to be started or ran down the field, so to speak, for the defense to get back into this case is going to start probably pretty soon, because they made sure to put on the court record Odinism, third-party suspects. Judge, you did not allow us to enter this. So that stuff is there ready to go. And we do know sentencing is coming up Friday, December 20th at 9 a.m. is when Richard Allen will be sentenced. And at that point, from the defense's perspective, at that point, this is what they're looking at right now. And, Richard Allen's wife said as she was leaving the courthouse today, this isn't over, and the defense team agrees.
And Guy Relford, couple things for you here. Again, as a defense attorney, what would you do? What would you be looking for in the appeals process? And something we asked earlier today, death penalty. Is that or is that not on the table?
Yeah, well, first of all, in any criminal case, only certain cases are subject to the death penalty, and the prosecution has to declare that they're seeking the death penalty. The prosecution did not do that in this case. So the death penalty is not on the table. What he's looking at right now is a maximum of 130 years in prison based on the convictions on these four counts. And by the way, when we say guilty on all four counts, I mean, we all agree. If he was found guilty on one count, he was going to be guilty on all of them.
Right, kind of the domino effect here.
I mean, there was really no dispute about that. But how this now works from here is the judges set a sentencing date, and they'll go in, they'll argue about what the sentence should be, and that's a whole different legal proceeding. And there'll be witnesses, there'll be legal argument, and then he'll be sentenced to whatever he's sentenced to. That then triggers the time to file an appeal. And so they have to file what's called their notice of appeal within 30 days. That kicks off the appellate process. The judge can and likely will order that he be held incarcerated during his appeal, given the fact he hasn't been released this whole time, and then we'll kick off the appellate process. The appellate process will be all about whether the judge made mistakes. The appellate process is not about reviewing the evidence. I mean, we made comments about reasonable doubt this, reasonable doubt that. That's not what the appeal is about. The appeal is about legal issues, meaning what did the judge do, and the exclusion of evidence is going to be first on the agenda on that issue.
Between now and then, Guy, are the lawyers allowed to contact the jurors, reach out to the jurors, ask questions to them?
Well, only on a very limited basis. And in Indiana, what happens is that it's up to the judge to allow lawyers right after the trial. I mean, immediately after the trial, talk to the jurors. And what the judges typically do is they ask the jurors, do you want to talk to the lawyers now that the case is over? And if the jurors say no, that's it. End of story. If the jurors say, yeah, we really want to have a conversation, they go have a private conversation about how the case went. But that's up to the judge, and ultimately it's up to the jurors.
All right, we got just a couple of minutes left here, and if I may have a moment of personal privilege from both of you gentlemen, what you guys have been able to do for our audience, for this show, for this radio station, every day has been amazing. I know it's a lot of time spent. You know, Guy, you normally come on with us at Mondays at 3:35 for Monday Gunday, but for you to stick around to be part of this, it's been amazing. The insight that you've been able to bring to us from a defense attorney's angle has been top notch. So thank you so much. And Donnie, nobody in this city has done better at being fact-based, down the middle, giving us all the information than you and the jury pool, the reporter pool that you have surrounded yourself with. And I know, and you've put this on social media, so I don't think it's a big secret.
No. You're leaving us, aren't you?
You are leaving us here. The Delphi trial was your last thing. Boo. You were writing this out for us. So first of all, thank you so much for this coverage. What you and Guy have been able to do has been amazing. And I'm going to give you the last word here. This may be the last time the Hammer and Nigel Show audience gets a chance to hear from you. If you want to talk about this trial, go ahead. If you want to talk about the audience, your time here at WIBC.
Where are you going?
Yeah. So I am going down to WFIU and WTIU down in Bloomington, the public radio and TV station there, and I'm going to go try and give them my services and hopefully, meet their standards and grow and be challenged and grow as a reporter and a person. WIBC, just to make it real quick, I told our boss, David Wood, that not only has it been a second home for many years, in many cases it was a first during bad times, especially over the last few years. But then to sum up this case, what I feel is most important for everyone to leave with is get involved and get educated on the criminal justice system in the United States, because no matter how you feel about the conviction of Richard Allen, any part of this process you could find yourself or a loved one in at some point in your life. When Richard Allen was arrested, he thought he could afford the entire trial. He thought he could, and so he had to ask for financial help. When we think of why didn't he ask for a lawyer when he was being interrogated, some people don't understand that. They don't have that knowledge built into them. They never learned that. Get educated on this system. Make sure you understand what's going on at every step of the way, because you never know when it could help you or hurt you in the future.
And if anybody wants to continue following you in your career, Donnie, what's the best way to do that?
At Local Guy Donnie on Twitter or X or Twix, as I like. And that's pretty much it.
Listen, let's be honest. This thing is going to be an appeal. I mean, I feel pretty confident saying that. I'm a gambling man. You guys know that.
You're right.
But this is not over. But what you guys have been able to do for this first part of this story has been amazing. So on behalf of our audience, thank you, Guy, and thank you, Donnie. And best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you very much for always giving us the time.
All right.
Thanks, Donnie.
Harrison Silcox is standing by in the WIBC newsroom.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Guilty on all counts. Clear skies with temperatures in the 60s downtown. There's nothing of concern in your radar. Low of 40 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. The jury in the Delphi murders case reached its verdict Monday.
Guilty on all 4 counts. I'm Donnie Burgess. Richard Allen stood before the court Monday afternoon to hear each charge against him read as guilty, then turning to his family to mouth the words, "Are you okay?" Allen's wife said this isn't over as she left the courthouse Monday. Sentencing is set for December 20th. The gag order will stay in place until sentencing is over. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
This woman on Monument Circle said the limited access to the courtroom in the case made it difficult for her to make up her mind.
I don't think anybody who wasn't in the room looking at the evidence can give a fair assessment of whether it was right or wrong.
Her gut feeling is there was reasonable doubt that Richard Allen killed the 2 girls. Donald Trump is looking at a former New York congressman to lead his environmental agenda. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
Former Congressman Lee Zeldin is being nominated by President-elect Trump to lead the Environmental Protection Agency. In a statement, the president-elect says Zeldin will ensure fair and swift deregulatory decisions and unleash the power of American business while maintaining the highest environmental standards. Zeldin tells Fox News the EPA will restore energy dominance.
I'm excited to get into work to implement President Trump's economic agenda, and I think the American people are so hungry for it. It's one of the big reasons why they're sending him back to the White House.
Zeldin served 4 terms in Congress before an unsuccessful campaign for New York governor in 2022. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Mike Braun has talked about improving Indiana's economy when he eventually becomes Indiana's governor.
Something interesting to watch is economic development and how the state views economic development. Mike Braun has talked a lot about really focusing on rural communities around the state.
Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business tells WIBC's Tony Katz that the business community in Indiana is already responding positively to Braun's proposals about what to do with the state's money. More than $139 million is going to more than 200 communities in the state to support local infrastructure projects through the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program. Republican Rep. Lindsay Patterson of Brookville appreciates the grants.
With these grants, we can move forward with vital roadway projects that will benefit our communities for years to come.
Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb says nearly 14,000 miles of roads have been helped because of the grants. And with a look at how traffic is doing on these roads at 5:33, here's Matt Baer.
You got it, Harrison. Looking at the northeast side, southbound 465 at East 71st. Stalled van. We're having a party here in this left center lane. Let's see. We have a wrecker on scene, the stalled van, an NDOT vehicle, a cop, and a couple of cars just chilling out up front right now. Traffic is stopped all the way back past Keystone Avenue. Delay time is 49 minutes. Inbound 69, stop and go in the exit to 465 because of that stalled van. We are stop and go from 106th Street down to 465 for a delay time of about 15 minutes. Inbound 65, stop and go from the White River to Meridian Penn. Southbound 465 on the west side, stop and go traffic from West 10th Street down to Sam Jones Expressway because of construction, and that delayed time is running at 11 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Come into any of their locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For tonight, partly cloudy, low temperatures cooler in the mid-30s. Tuesday will feature sunshine in the afternoon. Our high temperatures slightly below average in the lower 50s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
Mock is one half of the Chicks on the Right program. She joins us now. Mock, this is the first chance we've had to speak since the presidential election, and I'm just curious, your thoughts.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so excited. You guys, it's like the biggest weight was lifted off of our collective shoulders, and like there's hope for normalcy again, maybe. I mean, what a fantastic week last week was in every single way.
And that's a great way to put it, a weight lifted off. It wasn't just as if, oh, I like Donald Trump. I like the way he talks smack. I like the way he fights back. It was, we have to fix this border because if we don't, we're going to have problems moving forward that can't be fixed.
Yeah, and now we have freaking Tom Homan as the border czar?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, it could not get any better, right? Like, it just, that was such a cherry on top of, like, the most perfect ice cream that was last week.
One of the fascinating things we've been talking about on the show over the past week is that how the mainstream media narrative was that this was a razor-thin campaign. The poll is a 0.1%. Either way it could go. It was a total and utter smackdown, Mock.
I know.
Did you even expect? I mean, this was truly the red wave. We talked about the red wave that didn't happen in 2022 in the midterms, but this truly was a red wave of epic proportions.
Yeah, and I was, I got to tell you, because of how the polls were and because of all the talking heads, I had no good sense going into Tuesday night. I really thought, because I go to bed really early anyway, and so I knew my husband would stay up all night because he just can't bear to not know what's going on. But I was just like, you know what? I don't think this is going to be decided tonight. I think we're going to have to wait days and possibly weeks because we've been constantly told how close this race was. So I went to bed at 8:30. And
for
so
you.
I set my alarm for 3 a.m. and came out to the family room at 3 a.m. and my husband was, of course, awake. And I was like, well, and he was like, he won. And I was like, already? And I could not believe it. And then when I started seeing the numbers and just how decisive of a win it was, I mean, I cannot describe the elation.
And there was a post-election makeout session, possibly?
Well, then I had to just get straight to work.
Mock from the Chicks on the Right joining us. The other angle to this is, yes, Kamala and old balls Tim Walz were the biggest losers here, but who is the other big loser in this situation? Is it the Democratic machine, the ones that decided we're not going to have a primary, we're going to force through this nasally realtor-sounding woman onto the masses of the United States of America, or was it the traditional national media that basically lied right to our faces, tried to gaslight us and say, oh, no, that's not Joe Biden with dementia. That's a cheap fake. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Who was the other big loser here?
Man, I mean, there are so many big losers. I get, to your point, for sure, the legacy media. And it's interesting to watch which one of the talking heads on the various different mainstream media platforms are owning what happened and their role in it, and those who are just absolutely defiant even still. And so that's been so fascinating to watch, because there are some that are taking some time to do some introspection, to actually look in the mirror and think, what was it that we got so wrong?
Right.
And I appreciate them.
Van Jones is one of those guys.
Right.
Like, I'll give Van Jones credit. He's one of the few on CNN that will say, listen, we got some soul searching to do. But then those evil hags on The View, they're still holding on to everybody's racist but us.
Well, I mean, Alyssa Farah is trying to do what she can to convince Sunny Hostin to not be as big of a hose beast as she is. But there's no talking to her. I mean, just listening to her say, this is what's wrong with America, and to blame it on the inherent evil of America is exactly why they lost, because people are sick and tired of being told that they're no good, that they're evil, that they're rotten, awful people, and that America is a terrible, terrible place. We're sick of it. And so I kind of hope that they keep doing it, because it means more decisive victories for us in the future.
So where does Sunny Hostin rank on the people that said they would leave this country if Donald Trump became the president? Is she the number one seed in that, or is it somebody else?
Well, I don't remember if she said that or not. She's awful, but I don't think, unfortunately, she'll ever leave. But I know Barbra Streisand absolutely said she was leaving.
Right.
And I doubt she will. I doubt she will. I doubt Bette Midler will. I mean, there's so many. Michael Cohen, did you guys see the turkey head?
Oh, that was beautiful. People trolling him on his social media live session. I talked about this on Outkick the other day, Mock. If we could get John Legend to leave, I feel like we get a 2-for-1 because he takes his bat crap crazy wife with him.
Yes. Oh, my God. I mean, the whole because Michael Cohen was one of the most egregious, right? Like, he was so dead serious on all of the actual stations that continue to allow him to be on there, talking about how Trump is the biggest threat to democracy that ever existed, and that he and other journalists should be absolutely terrified, and that once, if Trump wins, he has to leave the country, even leaving behind his wife and kids, just to protect them. And then the day after, he's getting trolled on, like, I don't know what it was it TikTok? That they were putting all the turkey heads on him, and he was like, I'm not leaving. This is my country. It was hilarious. Hilarious.
Mock from the Chicks on the Right, chicksontheright.com here on the Hammer and Nigel show. And even more reaction. The funniest thing I saw was these leftist, liberal, progressive women that we played a montage of all these different ladies saying they're going to refuse sex. And we are going to protest this vote for Donald Trump by not having sex for the next 4 years. And I'm like, lady, nobody's looking for you.
Right.
Like you never hear like Giselle come out and say, like, my jujitsu boyfriend, I'm very sorry, but you and I will not be having intercourse until Trump is out of the office.
I mean, some of those, and it's called the 4B movement, which I think those are South Korean words. So, but the movement is so hilarious because at the same time that they're swearing off of dating men, marrying men, having relationships or sex with men, and having children, they're also telling people literally in the same videos to also hoard Plan B. And I'm like, do you see how that makes no sense whatsoever? Like, if you're not having sex with anybody, I can assure you you're not getting pregnant, and therefore you don't need Plan B. These women are morons. They are so dumb.
It's like if the Colts came out and said, moving forward, we will not be playing in playoff games until we get our way. Yeah, guess what? It's not a real big problem for you right now. So,
Mock, do you have anybody in your circle of friends or maybe family members that are like about ready to jump off a ledge because Donald Trump won? And then is there any talking these people off the ledge and trying to convince them that they've been lied to by mainstream legacy media?
Well, it's interesting because you do see, there was a woman that I talked to yesterday that I know pretty well from my long ago career, like prior to podcasting, prior to radio career. And she's been leaning left because she doesn't like Trump, which is understandable. Plenty of people don't. But, she and other people are reasonable about wanting to understand and wanting to listen. But there are some people, particularly like those that are in the 4B movement, those people are just way too far gone, and there's no reasoning with them. These are the same people that have the signs in their yard that say hate has no home here, and then they disinvite everybody for Thanksgiving dinner who voted for Trump.
Right? And they called you a Nazi for 4 years.
Right. Exactly. I mean, they don't make any sense. They don't even understand. They have a complete lack of self-awareness, and there's just no reasoning with them.
What's coming up on the big show tomorrow?
Oh, gosh, I think we're going to be talking about this whole Senate Majority Leader election that's happening on the sly, I guess, on Wednesday, which I'm not a fan of. I don't know why this election isn't open. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Who's going to be the next Majority Leader? We don't know.
That is Mock from the Chicks on the Right. Mock Arena, great conversation. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Yeah, when it comes to HVAC, I use nothing but American Standard. Nothing but American Standard equipment. Obviously, American Standard dealers. Here's Hammer to tell you about one of those amazing local, independent American Standard dealers here in Central Indy.
How about B&W HVAC, plumbing, and electrical in Speedway? Fall turning to winter means cold nights, and you got to make sure that furnace is safe and ready to keep you warm. B&W's dedicated team, they will make sure your heating system is in top shape. And when the frigid sub-zero temperatures arrive, you're going to be good to go. bplusw.com/radio. Schedule your appointment today. That's bplusw.com/radio, or just give them a call. 317-243-3581. B&W HVAC, plumbing, and electrical and Speedway. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
One of the joys of working with Radio 1 has been that they actually listen.
How can a partnership with WIBC serve your business?
My name's Jake Stamper. I'm the president and CEO of Sagacity Consulting, a full-service marketing and advertising firm.
Communication.
I choose to work with Radio 1 because I have such respect for their ability to achieve a goal We have served manufacturers to not-for-profits to retail, and the privilege that we have in working with Radio 1 is that they listen to the problems that we're trying to solve or the goals that we want to achieve, which each one of those very vast clients.
Deliver your message to the audience that matters.
My clients have been extraordinarily happy over the last 20 years with the results produced by Radio 1.
Text business to 71007 to take your advertising to the next level.
Radio 1 does a phenomenal job at connecting with the community on every level.
Get results with WIBC.
You need better water, really. Why don't you call C&J Water today for a free water analysis and see why you need better water? When you do, you'll get a 10% discount on all C&J Water products to improve your water quality today. For better skin and hair, you don't need a different shampoo, detergent, or lotion. You need better water. Now's a great time to upgrade. Call C&J Water for great systems and great people too. 317-733-SOFT. That's 317-733-SOFT.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Paying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month.
Heating and air conditioning can be the largest investment you make in your home. Here at Family, we pride ourselves in offering many flexible options.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's the Degenerates Next Door, a sports betting podcast for dudes.
Real dudes, not the fake Kardashian looking like dudes you see on television doing this. The Degenerates Next Door. Download and subscribe today anywhere you get your podcast. We need $530, and that'll get us to $8,000 raised for homeless Hoosier veterans. So if you can spare anything at all, donate right now to the Veterans Support Network, veteranssupportnetwork.org, or you can find the donation link pinned to the top of the Hammer and Nigel Show Facebook and Twitter. We need $530. So who can help us out? Help these Hoosier heroes in need. Matt Baer.
Yeah, Hammer looking at southbound 465 on the west side. Crash in the construction zone before Sam Jones Expressway. Right lane is covered, and we are stop and go past Rockville Road for an 11-minute delay. Inbound 65 stop and go traffic after 38th Kessler to Meridian Penn. Northeast side, eastbound to 465, still trying to haul off a stalled van on those eastbound side right now at 71st Street, and that's blocking the left center lane, stopping us back to Westfield Boulevard for a delay time of 56 minutes. The stalled van is also jammed up southbound 69 in the exit to 465. That's backed up past 96th. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Come into any of their locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
60 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. A little bit earlier, our pal Mark made a $500 donation. Nige. 500 big ones from Mark. Connie put in $100. We got $25 from Tom, $100 from Gregory in Indy. You guys are awesome. $10 donation from Ian. $10 donation from Rick. Every little bit helps here. And again, looking at the total, we need $530. That'll get us to $8,000.
$8,000 that will go to help Indy homeless veterans here on Veterans Day. We've kind of hooked up with Veterans Support Network, veteranssupportnetwork.org. This is basically just a a flash fundraising drive here on Veterans Day, and we've surpassed our goal, and we're blowing it up. I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars going to help homeless veterans here on Veterans Day with Veteran Support Network.
Michael, $100. Thank you, Michael. We got 200 from Jason in Indy. Thank you so much, Jason. And again, so many donations. I wish I could read every one of them. Marilyn, $100. Thank you so much for your donation. And the money that we are raising helps Indiana's forgotten heroes, right? The homeless veterans here in Indiana, men and women. And it's not just giving them food or, water or blankets. It also provides some therapy. It gives them direction. If they are willing to go to a shelter, one of these missions, they will coach them up on how you get a job, what you can do to better yourself. It's an amazing organization. And again, the donations are coming in fast and furious. We thought a fair goal would be $5,000. Yeah. Well, I'll be damned if we didn't do that in the first hour. So
that's the people that listen to our show. That's our family. Thank you so much here on Veterans Day. It's unbelievable. I'm speechless. We're almost at $8,000, and we're only 3 hours into the show.
And you can donate at any time. We're on the air until 7.
Sure.
Right? This show airs until 7.
Anytime.
But you can make a donation anytime. So, again, veteranssupportnetwork.org. That's veterans with an S. veteranssupportnetwork.org. Or go to Hammer and Nigel Show, Facebook and Twitter. And pinned at the top, you'll find the donation link. And all of the money we raise from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m., the time of our show, helps Hoosiers. It stays here in Indiana. So help out the folks that have volunteered to fight for our country, to defend our country, that have fallen on hard times. This is what we do. This is Hoosier hospitality, baby. Do not go anywhere. Top stories next.
Mike loves the fall in Indy, but he hates to paint, so he called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
And right now, Indy, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. The BX Series is the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or save up to $3,100. Now through November 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Fishers and Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
On this Veterans Day, the Veteran Support Network is working with missions in downtown Indy to identify homeless vets in need of coats, socks, gloves, and resource information this winter. Veteran Support Network, with honor, integrity, and service, has a goal of helping 50 homeless vets with Operation Rudolph this season of giving.
Help our Hoosier veterans living on the streets with your donation today. Go to veteransupportnetwork.org to donate now to Operation Rudolph. Donate now at veteransupportnetwork.org.
Have you compared your options during Medicare open enrollment? Plans change each year, and so can your health. That's why it's so important to compare this year and make sure your drugs are covered. At Medicare.gov, you can easily compare all your options. Find a better plan, save some money, or both. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Planning to propose this holiday? Shane Company is ready to help you find your dream engagement ring. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. So when you walk in the door, you can trust your rock is in stock. At Shane Company, we've always sourced directly, cut out the middleman, and pass the savings on to you. We work with your budget, not against it. We'll also protect your ring for life with our free unmatched lifetime warranty. Come see us at shaneco.com and in-store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm